your wildest hopes and dreams. I'm the only one who's standing in my way of becoming someone I was meant to be. But I'm quickly learning if I change my mind, that the truth will then become a part of me. In a world with so much pain, we all think we're tied in chains. Time to pick the lock.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Blade and Soul North American 3v3 Rumble in the Realm, day number 2. And when I say day number 2, I am, of course, talking about finals day. Yes, the top 4 teams have plowed their way through the earlier stages, through the previous day's plays, and now we're left with our top 4, the creme de la creme of the region. But before we jump any further into that, let me introduce myself. My name is Kickoff. Thank you so much for joining us here. And I'm joined once again by the man riding shotgun alongside me, player turned caster. Hank, how are you, my friend?
I'm doing great, Kid Fox. Tell us, what are we going to be seeing today?
Mate, we have got so much going on. Like I mentioned and touched on earlier on, we have got the top 4 teams in the region. The first 2 that we will be featuring on stream will be Legacy and Bagged Milk. But before we get into that game, before we break that one down for you and just what that one involves, the way that we're going to go through the day is, ladies and gents, is that all games up until the grand final will be a best of 3. There you can see on screen, you've got Guardian and I Was Pressing Edge, which will be featuring a little bit later on as well. But like I was saying, round 1 and the semis will be a best of 3. And then once we get up to the grand finals, it will be a best of 5. So without further ado, I know why a lot of people are in the chat, Hank. There's a little something special for the viewers.
For the viewers, we have down there at the code right under my boy right there, a chance to win your Scarlet Bird costume. Enter in that link, give it a shot, maybe you'll get lucky. But Kit, what are the players actually going to obtain this time? You're a wizard, Kit. He's so excited he lost his voice. Just clear the throat. It's okay. Relax.
Oof, I don't know what was going on there. The mic just cut out on me. Apologies for that. The players, on the other hand, they are actually playing for a fair stack of cash. They are playing for $1,500 US and their choice of 2 costumes, thanks to NCSoft. Second place will walk away with $1,200 US, and third place $900. And fourth, they won't go home empty-handed. They'll walk away with $300 in Hong Moon coins. So that's not too bad at all, hey?
No. It's better than, not getting anything at all. Shout out to the people who may not have made it to semifinals, but I hope they continue to watch and see who else can actually take the win for NA.
Yeah, so like we were touching on before, the first round that we will be featuring on stream will be Legacy and Bagged Milk. Now, Hank, these guys have got very interesting lineups. Legacy, they're going to be rolling with a Gunner, Warlock, and a Force Master. So massive amounts of damage coming out from those guys. And then Bagged Milk, they'll be rolling with a Blade Dancer, Gunner, and Summoner. So a little bit more sustainability on their side. And in the 3v3s, that's something that we talked about previously, was that survivability can often be the turning point.
Yeah, definitely with Legacy, they have a lot of power. This is a triple range comp. You're talking the Force Master, Warlock, Gunslinger. You only have 1 party iframe, but you dish so much aerial damage. And don't forget again, before I get sidetracked, you have that code down there. Grab it while you can. But again, Legacy, great, powerful comp, super offensive. We've seen the Force Master with its ult, and you grab someone in there, and before you know it, your HP is all gone. You have your gunslingers with that instant aerial crossfire into the air, and you're like half HP. And of course, Sayuri, the Warlock, previous regionals and Rumble experienced Warlock. He's got the experience, he's used to this environment, and he's very trained in that Warlock. But you have the other team, Backbuilt, and you can't forget them at all. You know, they have the Blade Dancer, Gunner, and Summoner. Satanical, the Blade Dancer, also from regionals, so he's also got that experience too. Poe, one of the new rising Gunners, also doing pretty well, especially as they tend to be their lead player. You know, gets all that damage at the beginning. And Oxtra, the Summoner, allows the party not only their party defense, heals, and also a bit of a mix of what you really need to do, like defense disable and just DOTs in general. So, you know, I'm kind of excited for this match. You know, we expect kind of some weird situations. Again, it's not often you see a triple range class or a triple range comp versus, you know, sort of the more standard ones, but less reliant on either a destroyer or a Sin. Kit, you gotta relax the throat. Your sound is not coming out at the moment.
I apologize. The mic keeps cutting in and out.
It might have just occurred again, Kit.
That should be sorted. I'll address that. But in the meantime, while that happens, make sure, ladies and gents, you type in that link in the bottom of the screen there for your chance to get your hands on that Scarlet Bird costumes. So we're going to get into the game very, very shortly. And when we do, I'll make some jimmying adjustments. And make sure, like I said, you are typing in that link, that you are making sure that you get your hands on the costume, and making sure that you click up on the top right-hand corner of your screen. There is the right part if you are watching on Twitch. And shout out to everybody watching on YouTube and on Facebook as well.
And now we have Oxtra and Ryan Dapple leading the charge. Oxtra getting that root at the very beginning. Ryan gonna disengage, hooks in there, tries to get the bull rush, doesn't quite get it, uses his deadlock for the iframe, but the Summoner just doesn't care about your iframe. It's only 5 hits. We gotta save him, Dark and Mask, but Ryan is taking so much damage already because of this Summoner. Ryan hiding in the sky, so trying to get some time, gets the Alpha Call, and then uses his escape already. Oxtra actually taking a decent amount of damage from the Tombstone unload. Now he's disengaging again. Ryan just kind of zipping all over the place, but he's taking so much damage just from DOTs, just from existing, because the Summer, you know, doom and gloom and all the poison. But he finally seems to have locked him, launches the air, but gets the cat instead of the Summoner. Oh, and this may hurt a lot. Satanical launches him in the air. You gotta save by Sayori with the Sanctum for the untargetable. But Ryan is in a bad situation. He used so many of his teammates' resources, his own resources, and his HP is down to like 26%. What can he do? And it goes with the early bull rush, tries to launch him here, gets the crossfire damage in, which might be just enough. But you know, he had to retreat for the Sky Stone because Poe is saying, please leave my friend alone. We switch to Satanical, now taking the charge right here. Fresh, clean, full HP. Ryan does the premature Alpha Call just in case he gets CC. There's the CC hitting instantly. Tabs to the launch right there, not really giving Satanical a chance. He cancels the grip, gets the bull rush, and Satanical is forced to use the escape. 5-point strike from the Metal Storm, and we see the party save again from Darken doing such a great job. And we see the grab escape from Satanical. What good reflex. Ryan able to save the disengage. He'll be out in 2 seconds. They're not gonna, doesn't seem like they're gonna catch it on. And you have Darken's turn going against the FM versus BD matchup. Darken taking a little bit of damage, but should be okay, but this might not be the greatest matchup. You see that Inferno doesn't even bother with the CC. Satanical misses his tech chase right there. Grips out of the ZI frame. He's just going to stall out those crossover. Gets the daze, the launch, and you see the teammates help. The Gunner comes in. The lightning draw comes out. And who comes out on top is just Darken, just going to hide in that ice tab. He's going to retreat right there. Satanical knowing this matchup very well. He can just play some time. The 5-point gets strafed not once but twice. The tab gets followed by the dual strike. And Satanical is out of escapes. He might not want to face the Warlock right there. You do not have an escape, friend. There you go. It's Poe's turn to shine. Grabs his early hook. SS's to try to bait the leech or whatever, the X stun. And, you know, just kind of playing it side by side, you know, bashing the Tombstone after the Haze Bomb. He tries to go for the launch, fails, but he's trying to get that Tombstone damage. Unfortunately, the Sanctum just kind of says, no, thank you, can't target me. There's no unloads in this situation. Deadlock gets used. The Bull Rush gets blocked. The Leech gets iframed. Oh, very bad situation. Oh, I'm sorry. X stun gets iframed. Unfortunate for Sayori. The Q stun doesn't quite catch it either. and Ryan's doing his best to try to catch, but instead he gets the PvE damage, launches Sayuri into the air, and Poe is just taking an immense amount of damage. Darkin protecting his friend, and they're hitting him in the bail. He gets so much healing. Poe gets the CC on Sayuri, but now he has his bashing up. The thrall's backed up. Poe, you know, just doing his best, but he has lost his unload, and he gets the daze, but the thrall switches so fast, and here comes the time distortion. Will Poe be able to get out of there? He has a few more seconds on to escape. His second wind is back up. He's hiding in the Sky Stone, trying to PvE the Thrall, but he's taking his own damage. He's using the Sky Stone again, and the Thrall is out. Oh, still hanging in there. Poe is hanging in even lower, gets healed up by Oxtra, thankfully, so he can get his escape, and we are still back to this Sanctum stare down, and he tries.
He was in that, sorry, Hank, he was in that Sky Stone for an extremely long time there, and Sayuri just saw his opportunity. He launched the aerial combos with the Sky Stone out. That was massive, massive play. They didn't really need to land his Soul Shackle until he was about to drop. So huge there. Now Poe will tag out in 3 seconds. And, well, at 40% HP, he'll probably be thankful that he did. He popped Tombstone in the end, but he will be out. Oxtra will now come in to take his place against Darkin Master. The Force Master, the Sunflower, is dealing massive chunks of damage. Darkin Master tried to land a big hit. Unfortunately, it didn't quite connect. Oxtra just too good. Now the Cat doing lots of work, and Darkin Master has got nothing in the bank. In fact, well, he does have his second wind available, decided not to use it. Inferno now popped in as his turn to deal the damage, but the tag will come in, and Satanical, the Blade Dancer, will come in and take the place of his friend. But a second wind now popped by Darkin Master. The Frostburst goes down, doesn't connect because Satanical is landing those 5 points into the lightning draw, and Darkin Master is forced to tag out.
We have Ryan Dapple taking the charge against getting his rematch for Satanical, but he is a bit low on HP. He doesn't quite get that cheeky little double barrel. Tries to just PvE, but it doesn't get deflected thanks to Deadlock. And now he's getting some damage. Going to chunk him little by little. Satanical just spinning for his life. Doesn't get the knockdown on his thing, but there's the Tombstone damage, just murdering Satanical. Then goes for the cheeky Giga Blade, and it does chop Ryan just a little bit. They're both just being whiffed by just large amounts of damage. And here comes the 5 point, but the instant tab actually gets him out. Bull rushes to escape. Snoo coming in for the time distortion, resets Ryan's skill, and now he can get his Deadlock yet again. The flash not quite hitting right there because of the iframe. Poe is back into the game, and we have the advantage sort of in the Poe side. Unfortunately, Ryan does not have Tombstone, but his other kills did a reset, and he does get the knockdown. Unfortunately, he doesn't have the Daze double barrel, so he couldn't get the insta launch right there. Poe playing very careful. He's the one on the floor using the iframes for the Sky Stone. But, Ryan sees that and he just disengaged. He sees that blue ring on the circle, says no thank you. Almost misses with the, or completely misses with the trip shot. And you see Ryan just trying to catch this Gunner, and Gunner catch these PvEing, the CCs. The Deadlock gets used again. Ryan's in a bad situation, but he has his own Deadlock. They try to return with the Ricochet, and he's just retreating into his side of the map with the Sky Stone. You see a different type of Venn diagram, and now they're just kind of whipping around with their whip lines and their Sky Stone, just trying to get some small damage. You don't really need that much CC after all. It is just a Gunner mirror match, and there's a free unload from Poe's side, and he kills Ryan from just unloading. And we see that Snoo is now by himself. His Thrall is already down to half HP. He's getting so much damage, probably off of the crossfire for the free gunpowder. Snoo just trying to get a bit of damage off of the Sky Stone, but Poe opts for the Deadlock, and now he's retreating to his side out of the Sky Stone. And SS is back to his Sky Stone range, pulls up to the Sky Stone, and now Sayuri just hides in his Sanctum, knowing that he can't really take that much damage. He's getting the Leech Q, and he launches him into Eric. This could be it until Satanical comes in for the save.
Massive damage, and Poe is hurting. He's bleeding. He's hemorrhaging at the moment. The Tether Blade went in, but Sayuri was just unable to follow up. Oxtra now takes a fair bit of damage, retreats, and throws a few Sunflowers for good measure. Sayuri just trying to land some hits, but Oxtra 2 switched on at the moment. 1 minute and 27 seconds before the mandatory tag out. 30% HP, but that's nothing if you're a summoner. Darkin Master will now come in. The knockdown. The Daze actually came out there. Darkin Master still has a second wind available. Oxtra at 9% HP, actually forced to use his Tap Escape now, which is down. But he does get the kill, yes.
And we have Darkin versus Poe yet again. Poe trying to get that Bull Rush into the double barrel, but unfortunately can't quite land it. He uses the alpha call so he can escape out of this right now. He still has his escape. He's careful right now. His tombstone is out. He's not getting that unload damage as much as he wants to, but he still has all those gunpowder. He could probably unload about 3 or 4 more times for some damage. Dark Master just trying to retreat, knows how much that can hurt. He cannot tag out, friends. He is stuck in here. And let's see how well he does. He luckily has the Divine Bell protecting him from any aerial damage. The trip shot misses, but he gets the Bull Rush tech change. Tab escape wasted into the deadlock, and now Poe can safely retreat without worry about much because he has his escape. And Darkin has used his SS2. He has no escape besides F-Roll. Sayuri comes in for the time distortion, gives his teammate another chance, and he's trying to damage him, but instead he's healing. He's healing so much off of that.
Big play coming in there. Huge from Sayuri to land that time distortion, but Dark and Master now eats a lightning draw. Tries to throw the ult out, misses it. Satanic, although, comes in, and with 12 seconds left for Dark and Master, goes into the Ice Armor, buys himself a little bit of time. Oh, fantastic Soaring Falcon. It connects. That allows Satanic to follow up, but now he takes a fair bit of damage as Dark and Master turns the tide. The dual beam nearly connects, and Satanic now at 21% HP is forced to go up against a pretty much full HP Sayuri. And Snoo, I think, will be sitting pretty with this one. But both of these guys just retreat, play the long game because the Sanctum went down. Now comes the Thrall. Interesting play here. Satanical on the other side of the map. The Tetherblade misses. Soaring Falcon parried. Pretty good play there, being well read here. It's like a mental game of chess now. The Phantom Grip will go in. Satanical. In fact, it was Sayuri who got away from that one. The Leech will go in. Here goes the Thrall. That's what I'm talking about. And Sayuri takes round 1 for Legacy.
Yeah, definitely. Legacy seemed like they were out of their wits. They lost Ryan pretty early on, but they played really calm. And you know what? Bagmilk just got too greedy. They stayed in way too long. But ladies and gentlemen, friends, don't forget to go down there to the link under my friend Kit Fox right there. Your chance to win a Scarlet Bird costume. Type in that link. You know, cap sensitive, the whole jazz. You guys know how to do a lottery, right?
That's it. It will be drawn on Wednesday. And if you have been entering over the previous days, whether it be for the NA or the EU tournaments, 1v1 or 3v3s respectively, it is a new code each day. So if you've already entered, you have that chance again. As long as you've been watching the stream each day, it's a little something from us to you. Hopefully you enjoy it. Hopefully you get lucky. And hopefully you're enjoying this as much as we are, Hank.
Oh yeah, definitely. But then while we're waiting for our players to get ready again, and as you know, they probably are a bit roughed up. Bagmilk probably not being happy because they had the game. They had it right there. They just got too greedy. Dark and Master just threw a dual dragons. It wasn't even a CC into there, and it chopped all that HP. You know what? Poe got super greedy again in his Skystone. Sayuri was like, no, thank you. Give me Divine Bell. Here's your time distortion. And then he goes and counterattacks all that damage. So let's see what they're going to end up doing this time.
So the Skystone, it can either be the make or break for the Gunners, it seems, Hank. I mean, we've seen a lot of the guys just staying up there too long. Sayuri saw that and capitalized. And that dealt a lot of damage to Poe. And then that sort of put him on the back foot. He wasn't able to be as aggressive as he would have hoped. Had to play a little bit more defensively. He still was able to deal a fair chunk of damage, but in the end, Bagmilk did go down. So let's get into this game. We're just waiting on the players to iron out the creases. I think just got a little bit of a player tech issue. So while he just relogs, gets back in. Hank, we're broadcasting to Twitch, Facebook, and YouTube. Fantastic to see it going across the platform. But looks like the players have sorted it out. It will be Ryan Dapple, Gunner, going up against Oxtra the Summoner to start things off.
Yeah, we see again that Ryan gets the pretty early CC. Unfortunately, doesn't quite get the tech chase as he just rolls back and uses his True Friend. But we saw earlier that the Dandelion was already used for Oxtra. He won't be able to defense, but he hides in his Pedal Storm, knowing that Ryan can't do much except for the Tombstone damage as it completely ignores this is not a projectile. He tries the Dandelion, but who cares? The Tombstone damage, just chunking a good amount of HP, attacking from above. The bullet rain literally actually lead rain so much damage. Unfortunately, he does hit the daze into the Dandelion, and Ryan retreats because, you know, he's won this exchange. He's done so much damage. The cat is harassing him, but trying his best. But Ryan's using the iframe counter, using the cat fractional defense, and you see the tagging from both sides of the Gunner and the Force Match trying to get some damage. Not really much is exchanged here. Oxtra getting just a little bit of healing, so he's actually more HP than Ryan, despite Ryan doing better. But, you know, Summoners, they're healers. That's what they do. Ryan hides back up to the Skystone, waiting very patiently, knows that Oxtra's out of range, lands that quick shot right there, and then he gets launched into air himself. Unfortunately, Oxtra wasn't quite lucky to get the double knockup by the cat. Switches to Snoo, decided, alright, this is too much damage this early on. Satanical trying to break that Bastion, and he does actually with the 5-point strike and the Searing Falcon. Snoo trying to get some focus or just, some damage on the cat, just kind of annoyed that he's in here, but he can't really start the game. The Summoner versus Warlock matchup, not always great right now.
So Oxtra will tag out in 7 seconds. Sayuri comes in, throws down the Sanctum, took a bit of damage, will call in his Thrall, but Oxtra will stick his hand out, will get high-fived, and in comes Poe, throws down the Skystone already, so you already know what he's going to do. Or it may have been a fake, didn't actually opt to go up, throws out the Daze Bomb, misses, and Sayuri catches him out. Fantastic chase, and Poe now is hurting bad, very, very bad. He's down to 64% HP, doesn't really have much to play with. Sayuri just biding his time. It's a very slow game, very paced out. You can see that Sayuri really doesn't want to contest in the Skystone range because Poe's got those hooks. There it is, but catches him out with a couple cheeky volleys. Not too much to worry about now. Tombstone pop. This is where Sayuri really needs to be careful. Time Distortion is in. And have a look at the quick shot damage coming from Poe onto the Warlock. 30 seconds before Sayuri is out of here. Fair damage coming Poe's way, but manages to strafe it all. And with recoups himself, in comes Oxtra, the tag in with the beast. PvE's the Thrall down. So now Sayuri, he's in trouble with 15 seconds and no Thrall. This is Poe's chance to close the gap.
And luckily for Sayuri, he does hide in that Sanctum, but it just expired, and now Poe's gonna go into attack. He gets leeched and knocked down, unfortunately, so you can't get the launch yet, and he gets launched himself to get saved again by Ryan Dapple, but he's still taking damage. He barely escapes with 30% of HP. Dark Master returning fire onto Poe, and then Satanical tries to go for save, then Lightning Draw, but luckily Dark Master uses this pattern, just freezes himself. Now we have the Summoner versus Force Master matchup. Maybe Darkin will opt for that Blazing Beam yet again, just to poke at the Summoner. As we've seen that he doesn't really mind the CC right now. He can get so much damage, but he hits into the Dandelion, and you see Oxtra just SSing out of there, and he has the Sunflower. He gets hit by the grip, and you see the Blazing Beam damage. He gets so much on Oxtra so early on. He has to opt out. Satanical goes with the instant return, and then Ryan Dapple says, no thank you, take my friend down with you. And we see that Dark, just able to stall out those cooldowns properly with the freeze. Satanical not quite getting that grip out of freeze, and yet again, Darkin uses his Ice Tab, now able to heal up a good amount. The dual strike iframe gets used, and he catches him in between the dual strikes. And here's the launch into the air. He tries to go for the full combo, but the Summoner interrupts it. And now Darkin's completely disengaging from this battle, this firefight.
A good save there from Oxtra. Darkin caught him out pretty well, but in comes Satanical now. The Blade Dancer versus the Force Master. Darkin has got his dual dragons, and there it is coming straight out. Actually didn't. Wow,
and he
I don't know.
Kills the Gunner from the Phantom Grip. The delayed ult was just gripped into the tag, and there was no way for him to do anything. And now Oxtra is probably panicking because he wasn't supposed to be here. And Darkin is so happy right now with what he's done.
That was interesting. Poe just doesn't know what hit him. Now Oxtra and Satanical have got to go up against a full Legacy lineup. They don't want to be losing, or they will find themselves in the losers bracket. Ryan Dapple now taking a fair chunk from Oxtra and these bees. And now the Sunflower comes out, but Dapple is good enough to hook away. The Time Distortion will come in from Sayuri. That'll give Ryan Dapple a little bit more to play with, and there we can see him already unloading onto Oxtra. Now gets the knock up, but Dapple gets a tag in of his own, but Oxtra will come down at Darker Master, picking up the kill there on the assist.
And now we have Satanical caught in a CC lock because Ryan got reset his soul, which CC used it all. Finally, Satanical uses escape, and Ryan's completely disengaged. He has his Skyflame, he has his second win, he has his Alpha. He's in such a great position, while Satanical only has, he still actually has all of his skills. And here comes the ult, the flash ult. Right, Satanical cannot see what's going on right now. He has the Giga Sword. Will he opt to fire it right now? And the Alpha Call for the premature CC. And there's the Giga Blade, unfortunately hits into the deadlock. Doesn't really do anything. Here's the launch, and here's the aerial combo we're talking about from the triple range classes.
So that will be 2-0 to Legacy. And that means that they progress through the winners bracket, and they will eventually go up to face the winner of the next game, which we will be having on stream. But before we jump into that one, ladies and gents, hope you enjoyed all the action so far. Take this opportunity to make sure you either follow, like, or subscribe, depending on what platform you are watching, for all things Blade and Soul related across the regions of NA and EU. And if you were unlucky enough to miss out on the EU results that were happening earlier in the day, the winner of the 3v3 was Bed Inventors, not Bad Intentions, Bed Inventors, with a Warlock KFM BD combo. I believe that was Zappish's team, so well done to those guys. And remember, ladies and gents, you have the opportunity to win a Scarlet Bird costume thanks to NC Soft. So the link at the bottom is right there. Make sure you type in fully case sensitive to go into the draw to win that costume thanks to NC Soft. Draws will be done on Wednesday, and like I said earlier, if you have been entering across all of the Rumble in the Realm days, it's a different code each day. So multiple entries equals multiple chances at getting that Scarlet Bird costume name.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully, you know, everyone has their good chance. If in an ideal world, everyone will get their Scarlet Bird costume. But, you know, at that point, is it really anything special? But yeah, once again, great match we saw just earlier. Darkin just pulling in an amazing feat of just baiting. Then you see that Bag Milk is so hungry, so greedy, because they have so much power. But Dark is like, no, I can have my self iframe, I have a tab ice, it's fine. And of course, we saw that big finisher firing the ult where Oxtra panic tags out Poe is just left there, and you are given the opportunity to CC anyone who tags in. He grips Poe, and that's when the attacks from the ult came in, obliterated him before he even gets the chance.
Yeah, chat popped off on that one. They said it was an absolute godlike play there. I thought the ult whiffed, but then the tag in, the grip into the ult was phenomenal. Phenomenal play there. Big stuff, and it's fitting. I mean, you're playing for big cash here. You need to pull out all the stops. And big plays like that are money worthy.
Definitely something interesting. We see Ryan pulling off that blinding ult where he kind of throws Satanic on a panic. You're blinded for about, I think it's 5 seconds. And even that, what are you going to do for 5 seconds? You can't see. Ryan's Satanical forced to use his iframes early. And you know what? He got punished for that. He has nothing to follow up with besides, the Giga Sword, which with the deadlock. And, it's kind of straightforward from there. You're doing a 3v2? 3v2, yeah.
And you're always going to struggle. I mean, if you lose anybody early on, especially when they've got, either tags or assists in the bank, that's monstrous, especially those early ones, which we saw in the qualifying stages happen a couple times. Not too often, which was good to see, but it did happen. And often, when you die with 2 assists in the bank, that's 2, potential saves, Hank. And then, if that's on your Destroyer or your Summoner, you're going to have a bad time.
Oh, yeah, definitely. But, I mean, we say that, but remember how the first round ended up. We lost Ryan Dapple super early on. But, that's that false sense of hope on the other team. They just got greedy, and that's how they ended up losing it. Maybe, Bag Milk could have taken it the other way. They're like, all right, we lost someone early on. They're going to be greedy. Let's play on that. Unfortunately,
wow.
They canceled that.
Okay, so we're just getting word coming across that an issue was raised where the summoner Oxtra's cat was disappearing during a tag, and it was investigated by the admins over at Legion Esports, and now confirmed by the NC admins that we are going to be having a rematch of the second round due to a bug. So, Hank, we're going to go round the bend again.
Well, okay then. I mean, I'm not
cool
complaining about that. Yeah,
I'm cool with it.
Hopefully they learn that if the Force Master ults, you don't tag out just yet. You should probably be somewhere far. Because, that Phantom Grip into the Force Master ult is devastating. And if you realize, you don't have to watch that many ults on their opponent's side. You have the Warlock ult, which is very easy to actually evade, assuming, you're not in the air. And the Force Master ult, you just have to watch out for the Phantom Grip. So, Bagville, my only advice for you, just don't be too greedy. Relax, all right? You've had so many chances where you're ahead, and because you just wanted to get that much more damage, or you're trying to get that finish or that CC, it ends up biting you, You have to know when your friends are going to be in here.
But I think the most disappointing thing about that is that massive ult is going to be completely discounted. That just means he's going to have to pull it off again to make it official. So, you know what you got to do.
Yeah, I mean, you just do it again. Well, again, we have seen Darkin always try to go for it because that's the only way to land that ult. It's such a delayed attack and it's so slow. You have to Phantom Grip it. But luckily, you know, Bag Milk can be like, you know what, it didn't happen. Doesn't count. The cat disappeared, you know? That's why Oxtra had it. Which actually seemed to be the case. There seemed to be times where the cat was just completely not on the screen and I thought it actually died. But, you know, bugs happen. It's okay. You have more opportunities to play. And you know what? Just a warm-up round for Legacy. They're probably, you know, head held high, ready for whatever coming up is next.
Yeah, look, they'll be ready. They'll be happy. They won't be two-faced about this. They'll be confident considering the way that they played those first 2 rounds. They were dominant. They were well on top, and I think that if it was a little bit closer, the story might just be a little bit different. You know, the narrative might have changed, but I think that Legacy will be quite comfortable. So, the score is reset to 1-0. Legacy still needing 1 round for the victory. Ryan Dapple again, the gunner going up against Oxford, the summoner.
And we see already he tries to get the days, and luckily Oxford uses his Dandelion, and the cat is just hiding too in the back. You know, Ryan doing some interesting floating tactics. He gets hit by the 5-point, but escapes out of that. So he's already used his escape, and his Skystone's not in there. He doesn't have Alpha Call, so Sayuri has to opt for the Time Distortion and the Sanctum save. Tombstone gets wasted on Poe's side. That might hurt him in the future, but he does get the launch. Ryan Dapple does get the launch out of the summer, and you know, he just retreats because Satanical will just party. Satanical gets the 5-point days, not quite the launch. You see that Ryan Dapple's moving to the other side of the screen, trying to just remove the targeting of the summoner. These bees can hurt quite a bit. He tries to move in. Is he going to go for the days? Goes for the unload, pulls back into the Skystone, tries not to get bees, drops the little firebomb here. And, you know, tries to get the aerial counter, but gets aerial knockdown in return. Ryan's taking so much damage. This could be it from Oxtra and Poe coming in. Luckily, Darky comes in just to heal a bit, but Ryan should get out of it. He may have some of the skills, but he does not have the HP to fight a summoner. He's down to 30% right there. He's still got about 25 seconds on the clock. What will he do? He throws this guy. He seems to opt to stay, but he just got the hooks just now. He has 2 hooks left. Uses 1 for the trip shot, 1 for the sky. So he's out of hooks. There's no way for him to get out of here, but he does get the launch. Tags out quite wisely, might I said. And Sayuri is into the game right now. Luckily, does not get punched for Oxtra because he does get that launch. The Thrall will be healthy, but he's already had to use the Thrall switch. He's waiting. He's up close. He's ready for the tag-in days right there, and Poe has to use his escape, and he gets the deadlock right there. He has to opt for the Alpha. He gets the Bull Rush, but it doesn't matter because he's still synced him untargetable. There's the Alpha into the Sky Zone. It doesn't seem like Poe will have his tab escape from the Alpha Call. He opts for the Tombstone right now. Gets the assist from the Summoner, and they're gonna PvE the Thrall, and it is gone. Sayuri might be in a horrible situation. Has no escapes, but so doesn't Poe. Tarkin gets so to save. Is he gonna catch him with the Phantom Grip? Unfortunately, the SS, and he does get the Phantom Grip, and Sayuri does not get able to capitalize on that. We switch out to Ryan Dapple. Ryan Dapple is on a heavy chase right now. Gets the Daze Bomb. The escape used on Poe's side. He does not have Alpha Call yet, and he's trying to go in yet again. The Skystone evades the double barrel, and he's going to whip line, and he's out of hooks. Poe is out of hooks and no escape. He has to Alpha Call soon, and there it is, his one and only escape. And Ryan says, no thank you, I can stall out for about 8 seconds. I have way more hooks. The hooks are back for Poe. He gets punished on his Bull Rush, but Ryan's taking so much damage from unload. There's the launch to the Bull, the Alpha, the launch into the air, and Satanic was trying to save his teammate. Ryan's taking a good amount of damage too, and he gets saved by Sayuri with the deadlock reset. So much damage, this could be it. Unfortunately, the Summoner comes in with the save, but he doesn't have the pink petals. Ryan is so low HP from the PvE blue petal bees. So now we have Darkin versus Satanical. Satanical might be in a better position. I don't think Darkin would be happy with where he is right now. He has 1 teammate, 3 interferes, but he's on such low HP. Darkin has to spam impact as is neutral. Perfectly iframes that, and he gets the grip, but gets knocked back by the flock. Didn't quite do that camper fast enough. Satanical not quite getting the tech chase either. Darkin freezing himself early, and we see that the Frost Tornado didn't quite land. It goes into the CI frame. Satanical's lightning draw actually lands with the lightning stun, and we have the Frost Word, and he's hiding into his Divine Veil.
So still spinning to win is Satanical. Finally gets the launch off into the 5 point now. Dark and Master is taking a fair bit. Again, it's just aerial plays here from Satanical. Again, goes into another ascend. So he's just playing the long game here. Darken can't really do much. No ult on the board as yet. We've got just under 6 minutes left in this game to play. Ryan is forced back on the bench for quite a long time. He was on, what, 3% HP there for some time now. The Phantom Group will actually collect Sayuri, and now he calls in the Thrall, trying to gravity well his way in just to catch out Satanical. Now, decides to close the gap. Sanctum will go down just in time, however, and Satanical splits the difference. He runs to the other side of the arena. Let's Sayuri do his thing, who now has an ult up. Let's see if it lands. I mean, the Warlock one is long. It's hard to land. But the aerials are much more easy. That's what Sayuri's trying to do here. 14 seconds until Satanical is out of here, though, and Oxtra will come in. Legacy, they're struggling a little bit. The Tetherblade actually misses in the end, and Satanical will be happy with that one. Throws the Soaring Falcon, and just before he goes, he's going to send a little parting gift Sayuri's way, but the save is good. In comes Oxtra.
And we have Ryan Dapple actually sent back on 4% HP against a Summoner. I'm not sure if this was intentional. He can't get out either. He has 3 interviews. And he uses his tombstone. He's trying to get so much damage. The alpha calls out of, like, it seems like fear right now because he's being pushed in such a far corner. A small tick of a sunflower could finish this game. And we see Sayuri trying to just pressure Oxtra out of there. Oxtra is in a great position. He gets killed just from a bee right there. There's not enough HP to fight a Summoner. Simply did a mistaken tag out. And you have Darken right here with 1 tag out, but he has no friends for this.
So there's 1 tag left. It's only on Dark and Master side. So Legacy is struggling. Ryan dies with 3 assists. That's what we were talking about pre-game, Hank. It's so impactful to die with that many in the bank. Now there's lots of damage being traded here from both of these guys. Dark and Master, though, has been power pounced. Needs to be careful because Oxtra is just unloading on him. You're on absolutely ham now. Has to tag out. Sayuri will come in. Still has the ult available. Goes the Tetherblade. There we go. That's the aerial launch. Oxtra just manages to get away from that. The Giga Blade onto the Thrall doesn't quite take it out. Sayuri, though, will be happy with that one. Will sit in the Time Distortion inside the Sanctum and just breathe deep. He'll throw the Thrall in with aerial launch, but Poe is happy. He's got the Sky Scone to play with. Now it's his turn to damage. In comes the Tombstone. The Thrall will come in to save Sayuri in the end. So now distance is drawn yet again, Hank.
Yeah, and we see Poe just finally finishing off that Thrall because Satanical didn't quite get enough crits or some sort of matter. And we see that, Bagged Milk is in a great situation right now. They have, on the side of Legs, they have no more tags out. They don't have any interviews. They're stuck in here. Look at this aerial damage. There's no way to prevent it. Sayuri taking almost 80% of his HP off of a single aerial thanks to Unload and Crossfire. The Thrall is already dead before he even gets a shot to do anything. Sayuri being pressured so often. Here's another aerial from the Summoner.
Whoa.
Killed by the basic quick shot. And now Darken finally getting an interfere. Unfortunately, has no one to interview for. He's stuck into the situation where Poe can easily just poke him out with damage, Sky Stoning aside, and he gets the launch into the air. Divine Bell protecting him, but he does do the slam just to, a little bit more damage. Bull Rush is not quite landing, hits into the strafe. We see the Frost Tornado not guard breaking. Darken is having such a hard time. This matchup is horrible for him. He doesn't have the 3-minute freeze either, so his HP won't return. You see the insta-tab from the Alpha Call, because, it doesn't matter. The Haze Bomb lands the days, and the Summer comes in and finishes the job with the Blue Bees.
So Bagged Milk actually pulling out the cat strats, Hank, and pulling one back. So we're going to be going over to game number 3. Which is, hey, I'm happy with that. I mean, I hope the viewers will be happy with that. I'm sure the players are, because that's what we like to see. Good close matches. I mean, it is finals after all. You want it to live up to that expectation. But interesting, nonetheless, how it came about. But Bagged Milk are back in this one, and now we're going to go to the decider. Hank, the way that they played that one was a different Bagged Milk compared to the first 2 games that we saw. What do you think they did differently?
Definitely, they were rotating their players much more often, and they kind of realized Satanical actually has a good setup against the opponents. But before I keep going about this, guys, ladies and gentlemen, don't forget, right down there under my friend Kid Fox, the chance for the Scarlet Bird costume. Type in that link, enter yourself into the lottery. Maybe you'll get good luck. But unfortunately for Legacy, they're probably the ones not happy with this result. Satanical realizing, hey, I do pretty well against Gunner, and I do pretty well against Force Master. They left them out a little longer than before, and it actually kind of helped out. They were able to poke out Ryan and such. And Ryan playing much more aggressive and much more greedy. This was the situation that I didn't want. bagged milk to be in, which, you know, Ryan adopted. And he was eliminated with 3 interferes, and he was on such a low HP. Like, that's not an ideal situation. He should have tagged out maybe when he was at 30% HP, but he got too greedy himself, and that's the problem right here. You're playing such powerful classes, and your opponents are too. This is such a quick type of 3v3 setup. Ults barely get charged in by the end of the game. You have to know when to get in and get out.
We didn't really see too many defining ults apart from that massive one from the Force Master in the cancelled round. There was a couple of Giga Blades in there onto the Thrall, which was interesting strats nonetheless. But like Hank was saying, there is that Scarlet Bird costume down there, ladies and gents. Get yourselves involved in that. Remember, it's case sensitive, and if you've been watching the entire Rumble in the Realm across the previous days and weeks, it is a different code each day, so more chances. We're going to get this game underway very, very shortly. The players, meanwhile, are playing while you get your chance for the costumes. The players get themselves a chance at $1,500 US dollars for first place, $1,200 for second, $900 US dollars for third place, and fourth place gets 300 in Hong Moon coins. So everybody that will be featured on stream today is at least going home with something, Hank. But let's get it on. The final round of Legacy versus Bagged Milk.
Oh, we have once again Ryan the opener, Oxtra the opener. We're going to see what happens. The SS into the Skystone. The hooks are already used. So Ryan's actually down to no hooks already, using 2 of the Skystone. Oxtra's not quite capitalizing. He's kind of retreating, but Ryan says it's my turn to come in. Gets the counter off. Unfortunately, he gets the deadlock and does land the bull rush. Oxtra able to escape out of that, but not before taking so much damage before even trying anything. But you know, the summoner can just heal that back. Tombstone fired already pretty early, trying to get some damage. Alpha Call used, but you can't stop an Alpha Call from the instant aerial. And we're seeing so much fast damage. And here we go again. Ryan, you're on low HP, and you get launched again. And this is bad because Sayuri has to use the save now. He's used his Sanctum, and he's almost eliminated from the lightning draw right there. Extended not required target. And Darken Master versus Off here, and we see it again. We're switching back to Poe and Darken now, actually. And you know, we see Darken's, you know, special. He's got to stall. He's got to give time. Ryan needs to heal because it's the same situation as last time. We do not want this to happen again.
Yeah, Ryan's finding himself in familiar territory, game in, game out. It will seem Poe will just happily sit in all that AoE damage in. Darker Master will happily sit inside all that AoE damage in his ice armor. Now Poe is just absolutely unloading on here, quite literally just spamming it. Darken now down to 67% HP. Has to go in close. Poe says no, thank you. He'll hook away. No problem there. Thank you very much. 1 minute until Darker Master is out. In fact, he's going to stick the hand out now. Sayuri will tag in. And we've got an good old-fashioned Warlock versus Gunner matchup here in the arena. Poe tries to hook behind him, just turns his attention to the Thrall and actually burns it down very well. Now Sayuri is in trouble. Bagged Milk are just playing a lot more smarter here than Legacy at the moment. Sayuri is in trouble. He's got absolutely nothing, doesn't have the his escape, or he does, sorry, Poe meanwhile doesn't have his. As I say that, it does recuperate, 38 seconds left on the clock. Oxtra still has 3 tag-ins for an assist. Ryan needs to sit back and just lick those wounds, get as much of that healing done as he can, and we're only played just under 2 minutes in this game, Hank.
It's just very fast paced, and look at this, another instant airborne, and Darken's forced to use another one of his interferes, and he can't quite break the deadlock, and he gets punished instead for trying to help his teammate. Sorry, we're finally getting a Thrall, but he has to be careful. He has to have some Thrall management here, because you know the Gunner can just burst it down with that crossfire and the triple unload damage. And we see the Q not quite landing on from the Thrall stun. Poe noticing that, he just retreats again. Alpha calls just in case. It's like Tentacle in with the Z iframe, not quite getting hit by that Tether Blade. And here's the massive damage from the aerial. Sayuri is eliminated from the lightning draw combo because Ryan cannot pop the iframe. Darken is left by himself, tries to dual drag almost out of panic, and he does at the 3-minute heal, so he'll heal so much, but he cannot ice tab any further.
Poe now comes back in versus Darken Master on the Force Master, and Legacy are struggling here. Darken has got absolutely nothing to get away from this. Gets juggled like you're seeing a clown at a circus at the moment. Darken forced to tag out. In comes Ryan Dapple. He doesn't fare much better. He's only got 24% HP. And Bagged Milk are looking like absolute juggernauts here at the moment. And this is a good old-fashioned Gunner v Gunner ranged combat fiesta here at the moment. We're just going to play acrobatics in the air rather, as the Skystones come into play. Now they decide to go a little bit closer. Poe is well in control of this game here at the moment. Legacy, if they can pull this one off, I'll eat my shoe.
And Ryan just hiding from the Sky Stone. He's trying to buy out that alpha call time. He doesn't get hit by the instant launch, which is great, but the Tombstone ignores any sort of escape. Who needs CC when you have damage? And Poe gets his friend to come into Oxford doing so much damage. Ryan's hanging on 3% HP, 9% HP, and he's healing up into the Divine Bell. Dark and Masters out of interferes. Is Ryan going to opt to stay in? He doesn't really have a choice. The results are quite painful right now. Deadlock's going to give him just a little bit more HP, trying to do a little more damage, but he hasn't gotten a launch off of yet. Poe just hiding in the sky, just tab escapes back. He doesn't need Tombstone because he has so much. The Haze Bombs gets traded, but one escape versus the roll, and the escape wins. And we have Darkin just trying to survive. His 3-minute ice tab has returned, but Alpha Call is going to be there. Poe or Darkin not really able to do much. Poe is setting up the sniper ult and finishes him right out of the self-freeze.
So Bagged Milk have pulled off the reverse sweep in the first game, Hank, of the day in the 3v3 North America Finals here for the Rumble in the Realm. How about that one? I thought Legacy honestly would be sitting pretty. The way that they played those first 2 rounds were dominant. They were absolutely disgusting in the way they were able to execute all of their combos and the way that they were able to execute their saves as well. And then the cat play came in, and then Bagged Milk pulled off the reverse sweep. So congratulations to them. They'll progress through, but Legacy aren't down and out yet. They will go down to the losers bracket, and they will face the loser of the next game, which we'll be featuring on stream. I Was Pressing It versus Guardian. Now, that one will be interesting nevertheless. Always is when you've got names, like Zach and Virus that are playing. So expect to see fireworks, I'd say, Hank.
And definitely, it seems they might want to do a bit of surprise. We have been given information of Guardian, of course, will run their new comp of the Warlock, of Yasuni, Gunslinger, Aikini, and the Bears on Destroyer, which is different from his usual sync counterpart. But surprisingly, I Was Pressing It was not giving us the class information, perhaps pulling that surprise Gunner. After all, Virus is known to also play Gunner, or perhaps even Duckballs also plays Gunner. And Zach, we don't know if he'll be on Summoner or Warlock. This could be any sort of matchup right here, and it's going to be very interesting to see if I Was Pressing It was being either rebellious or they actually do have a plan behind whatever surprise they're going to give us. I'm hoping for the latter because that is far more interesting.
Yeah, I know, right? You've got a lot of multi-class in there. Duckballs, he'll likely be on the Destroyer, but it's Virus and Zach that really catch my eye. We know Virus, he's great on that Assassin, and he's pulled out the Gunner a couple times. Zach, he's got that Summoner under his belt. We know how good of a summoner he is. We know how well he is known in the NA region, and he's just recently decided to pull out the Warlock. But let's get it on. Aikini's pulling out the Gunner, and we've actually got Virus on the Assassin. We'll get those names switched up at the top of the screen very, very shortly. But it will be Aikini and Virus. Gunner versus Assassin on Guardian versus I Was Pressing It.
We see the Tombstone used for Aikini. He's not using the Shadow build this time, just trying to use the Fireball. And the Virus is so fast, gets the launch, and it retreats. The Bear is trying to go for the wallbang. He does get quite off, but Aikini hasn't landed yet, so he's not going to damage, but he gets so much crossfire damage off of that. Virus is already so low without really taking much besides a single CC. The time distortion is played from Zach's side, and he's already in here. It seems that was a mistake, and he wasn't supposed to actually be out, but rather for an interfere instead. And we see that Zach is actually without time distortion already pretty early in the game. This might be Aikini's benefit here. He hasn't really landed much CC, but all he has to do is stall out the Thrall, or perhaps he'll PvE it like Poe has done previously. He is doing a good chunk of damage. The Thrall is at 75%. And he's just Sky Stoning and Whip Lighting all around. But he's out of hooks now. Do you think he'll notice? And yes, he doesn't opt to be risky and goes in with the Bears into the Ember Summit. The Bears knows if the Warlock does not have a Thrall, this is a great matchup for him. The Bears calmly in his Ember Summit, calmly in his Stone Shield. He goes with the Guard Break. And he follows up with the Rabbit. Here it is. The wall bang. And here's the Gunner damage. Oh, without even so much. And eliminates Zach early on into the game with that pure unload damage. And we see the Bears versus the Duck Balls, and it's kind of difficult because they're wearing the same outfit, but it's all right because Yasuni is going to make this much easier to cast for.
Hello 911, I'd like to report an assault. And poor old Zach has just been left absolutely destroyed on the walls of the arena. Yis now comes in against Duckballs. And Duckballs, he knows what he's got to do here is get one of those massive Mondo wall bags off. But Yis says no thank you. He gets the launch off and deals a fair bit of damage to the Destroyer, who was forced out his iron plating now. But Virus comes in and gets caught on the tag. And straight away, Duckballs has to come back in. He's like, come on, man, I just got out of here. The web will land from Virus. But at the moment, Guardian is sitting pretty.
Yeah, pretty good position. The Bears guard breaking Virus early on, loses the flower, loses the stealth. Virus has no escapes, and he already used Duckball. You see the Fury mode for the Bears. Is he actually going to opt in to use it, or maybe he was in the wrong? It seems he actually is in the wrong build. As you see, he has the green Ember Stomp. He's on an interfere build. So, you know, he's not in a great position, the Bears. You might be costing your teammates the game, but they're letting him stay in there. And you know, you can see Duckball's just trying to get all that that damage or that wall bang, but the tombstone from behind is just doing so much damage. Tab escape wasted, and now you have Yasudi's turn to shiny. All he has is no void walk. He has his throw. The Duck using his persistence already, and he gets leech Q into the air, and this may be it from Virus, losing his life in return, trying to save his teammate. And Yasuni is just hiding in his passion, his sanctum, and you see the shadow build finishes Duckballs with no options left.
Guardian making very short work of their opponent there. I was pressing it. Zach getting absolutely deleted. There was no other way to put that one. He just got laid up against the wall and got pounded. So that's it for round number one. Guardian will take the first round. They're playing for money, but what you can play for, well, they don't even have to play for. All you need to do is type in that link, which is under my name down there. It is case sensitive, and you will go into the draw to win a Scarlet Bird costume. Careful though, it is case sensitive, and like I've been saying, if you've been watching throughout the Rumble in the Realm over the weeks, it is a different one each day. So get involved. Shout out to everybody watching on Twitch, Facebook, and YouTube. And if you're liking what you're seeing, make sure you click the relevant like, subscribe, follow, whatever it may be called on your relevant platform. Show us the love, because tell you what, Hank, I'm having a wonderful time so far, and hopefully everyone else is too.
These are some exciting match. Unfortunately, this was not how I wanted to see. I was pressing it too. It seemed it was all one accident. You saw Zach time distortion immediately. He wasn't trying to time distortion himself. He was trying to time distortion his teammate, but it seemed there was a lack of communication. Virus tagged out early, which he had to. He had no HP. What was he supposed to do? But Zach was on the roster for next, and so he time distortion for no reason, and it went down the hill from there. You have a Warlock without time distortion. What is that even? So unfortunately, it just seemed that, you know, Guardian just capitalized on their mistake, and you saw it so heavily. Even Virus was killed from an interfere, from the AoE of Dragon Helix. Not much you can do there. It was pretty heavy. Meanwhile, Guardian, you know, the Bears was running Fury and Green Ember Stomp, which is, you know, interfere build. And that was a complete accident. That could have been their chance, but it was already 3-2 at this rate, and it was pretty difficult to even catch the Bears since, you know, you had your Warlock and your Gunner backing up. Hopefully, though, I want this match. I want this at their best, though. This was not clean. This wasn't the way either side would probably have wanted it, but that's just how it is.
Yep, and I think the wallbang was the MVP there. I mean, 100-0, and then the assist coming in as well. There was really nothing Zach could do, and I really kind of feel for the guy. Didn't really have a chance to, you know, spread his wings in that game. He surprised everybody, pulling out that Warlock, going off the summoner, not actually giving anyone classes. They didn't feed us the class information, so they're trying to be a little bit sneaky in the way they go about things, pull out the surprise packets. But here we go, game number 2 here of Guardian versus I was pressing it. It's going to be Aikini starting things off again on the Gunner against Virus on the Assassin.
We see Aikini getting hit into the Ice Mine from the tech chase. Virus opting to play much more longer this game. Are we going to see any sort of differences? He's running the lightning field, and you see there's the bombard, but unfortunately it doesn't get that much damage. Hides in the smoke, uses Dandelion already and gets hit by the Daze, and the C iframe gets Tombstone iframe, and Virus, you know, just doesn't take that much damage, but he's wasted a lot of resources. Not to say that Aikini hasn't. And here we deal with the Skystone resetting for another one. He's at a good position now. He's getting plenty of hooks, not like last time where we ran some out. And see Virus using that one evasion. And here we have Yasuni resetting the skills for Aikini early on. Not sure if this was premature, but we'll see how this actually benefits him in the long run. There's still a minute left before they tag in. Virus healed up now thanks to his smoke, has his flower back. Let's see what happens from here. And you see the counter, not quite useful against in the Sin match, and the Bull Rush just whiffing his opponent right there. Virus, knowing that stealth is the worst enemy for a gunner, he gets the decoy off, and he does the air web. He knows Aikini's so powerful on the gunner. He's just gonna wait some time. Ice Mine, air web, it doesn't matter. The tab is gonna be used from the poison breath from the bombard, and Virus is in so much control as we expected. Here's the double wall bang on from both sides. I cannot tell. And here's the double iframe for both destroyers, almost like a mirror. Luckily, they've switched their outfits, so I can recognize who is who now. And you can see, you know, Aikini is actually being pressured so hard, and he may die from this combo right now as Zach comes in with the aerial damage. And they have to switch out, and now we have the Bears, and Virus will be out in a few seconds.
That was an absolute fiesta. Both of the destroyers having the exact same idea, coming in with the red spin, trying to get that wallbang off. Nevertheless, it was Aikini who came off second best. He has got the least amount of HP at the moment now. That's a fantastic grapple into wedge combo coming out from Dark Balls. Is he going to go for that wallbang? The Bear's taking chunks of damage. In comes the assist. The bombard is so good. Into the close shave. Will it be enough for the kill? No, De Bears. Oh, well, he does go down in the end. He survived the initial engage, but Duck Balls was given chase, and Guardian now are on the back foot.
Yeah, definitely great play by Duck Balls over there, putting so much damage. And instead of wallbang, you can just poison breath into a grab. Playing the 2016 Blade and Soul over here, but regardless, now we have the Warlock versus Warlock matchup, and I'm sure Zach is not happy with the situation. His team is at the bitter end, or not Zach, Yasune's at a bitter end, and he tries to get the launch right there, but you know, this Sanctum will prevent the targeting. And you see that we have try to get the gunner in here to PvE the Thrall, and it's so low, but it's not quite there. Luckily, Zach still has his time distortion, ticks through. So now we're kind of reset, but unfortunately, Yasuni does not have Leech, and the Leech is used by Zach, but not quite catching the take afterward. And we see that Virus is now taking charge right now. And we're going back to the usual Virus versus Yasuni matchup. And we see the save attempted from Duck Balls, and he gets caught instead, but Yasune's in the bitter end right here, and we have to switch back to Aikini versus Virus.
Virus actually isn't using Lotus either, so that's interesting, but now Aikini taking a fair bit of damage. Virus opting for more damage. Does a lot with the heart stab. In the end, secures the kill onto Aikini. Now it's all up to Yasune to 1v3. If anyone can do it, he can, but as I say that, he gets caught tagging in, and Virus will call in the boys and get the round back. So again, Hank, it's delivering. These final series are absolutely popping off. We're going to be going over to game number 3 of I Was Pressing It versus Guardian. Get excited, my man. Both of these guys have shown massive glimpses. That one was a lot more different because Zach actually got a chance to play. He didn't get destroyed on a wall bang, but that was comical when the destroyers both came in and decided to go for the wall bang at the same time. I like that.
The same red spin, and they decided to use the same party iframe at the same time. It was great, but unfortunately, you know, it was not great for Guardian side. They taken so much damage, and you know, it's just these are the games. This is the highest quality of games where you have a moment to take advantage of. You use that moment to get your win, and you know what? Guardian wasn't able to capitalize on theirs, but I Was Pressing It did. And we have again Aikini versus Virus. Yet again, the Sky Stone placed into the air. We have the Bull Rush actually off the air landing, and he gets the F roll, but no tech chase on it. Virus actually making a return on this, getting some free bombard, safe damage 4 meters away. And he's trying to just, you know, wait it out. He's winning in this match. He doesn't get the stealth yet, but he did get the smoke. And we see Aikini just retreating. Virus using the aerial for the quick 100% evasion. Ice Mine over there. It's a little far from the location, Virus. I'm sorry to say. Tombstone was already activated. No damage off of that. And we see Yasune resetting Aikini, giving him more opportunities as Virus is at full HP. This does not look like a great matchup right now for Aikini, and he does get the daze, but not the tech chase. So then Virus returns with a C stun and uses the escape on Aikini, and now Virus has exchanged with his own escape as Aikini was able to catch with another daze. He's hiding in the Sky Stone now. The aerial is used for the free evasion, and now we see that Aikini is retreating to the other side of the map. He does not want to get caught with the Warlock Sin combo. Hides in the Sky Stone, uses another hook. Alpha call, so he has an escape. Is it going to happen? We get the 4 aerial from the Destroyer. Destroyer now with a double iframe here, and we see the mirror matchup from the Interferes. And we see the tab swift actually goes through it, and Virus is such a great play. He's getting so much damage on the poison breath. He had a drop combo, but it doesn't matter because Aikini is so low, but Virus gets returned with CCs from Yasune. And now we're at 18 seconds until the tag, and 15 seconds actually, and they're still kind of just pressuring each other. The Skystone is stealth.
10 seconds until Virus is out of here, but same with Aikini. The Skystone is being utilized here by him, and he hits the ground, and Bombard is waiting for him. And Virus, he's just dealing with the Bears coming in on the Destroyer. They're just being an absolute nuisance. So the Bears has come in twice. Not one of those has been for an iron plating. So keep your eyes on that one. Now it's Duckballs going for the ground and pound game against Yasuni, who's sitting there in the Sanctum, just trying to deal massive chunks of damage. Sanctum will be running out there. He has to run away now because that Red Spin is trying to chase him down. Duckballs just trying so hard. The Tether Blade actually whiffs. So now he'll get the tag off. It's going to be Warlock versus Warlock. Zac versus Yasuni. 1 minute and 15 until Yis will have to tag out. The Thralls now both come in. Time Distortion for Yis will buy himself a little bit of time, just refresh some of those cooldowns. Now Zac decides to close the gap here, which is interesting. Aikini will now come in, blows Tombstone, tries to just get a little bit of a leeway here onto Zac, just doing some cheeky damage, but Zac will tag out. In comes Virus for the Assassin versus Warlock matchup. Virus knows how to take down a Warlock. You can see this already. He's going ham and goes for the Lightning Rod into the Poison Breath Bombard combo and forces the tag. The Bears will now come in.
And we see now Virus is actually also on an interfere build. We switch to Aikini, who tried to capitalize it, but his Haze Bomb just barely missed him to tag it. Now the Duckballs is turning to shine. The Alpha has been used. Here's the instant escape expected after the knee. And then we see Aikini able to retreat into the Skystone, and Duckballs just trying to follow through with that red spin right there. He gets the Dazed Tab Leap, and you see the tech chase on from Virus, not quite doing the CCs there. Rather, just opts for the damage. Aikini able to slip away with that slippery hooks. And you see now that the Bears is also trying to get the aerial, which happens. The Duckballs in the air. Zac tagging the save. Yasudi's turn to shine. He tries to use his repulse for the iframe. He puts down the Sanctum Blade. No, Duckball is actually in a bad place. If he gets hit by the repulse, it's bad. The Tether Blade actually wasted into the iframe for Stone Shield. You see the 5-hit iframe used by Duckballs, perhaps just trying to survive it through. And here's the Leech, not quite getting the Leech Q right there, as Duckball was able to escape. And now we have so much firefighting. It's switching from the Sin onto the Yasuni, but he gets the Time Distortion again, and it's his turn now.
Zac comes in, and so does Yasuni now. 1 minute and 40 seconds till Zac is out. He has just hit the ground running with 1 minute left for Yis. He will take out, bring in Aikini, who waits no time to getting in the Tombstone. The Tether Blade was thrown by Zac, didn't catch him in the end. Aikini will throw out the Alpha Call, and this is his chance. He gets caught by the Soul Shackle. Doesn't really follow up, so Zac, unfortunately, there didn't really have the opportunity to open up the account and take some damage. He pays for that one. Skystone will go down to be able to be utilized whenever Aikini wants to. Just unloads with the lead rain from up on high. And Zac is not too phased about that. Now we'll land the Soul Shackle into the Salvo combo, and it will be good night, Aikini. I was pressing it on the comeback train.
You see that beautiful blue buff to the aerial mine combo right there. And now we have the Bears versus Zac. Zac probably in so much control. The Bears opts for the red spin early on, but doesn't quite get the C tech chase from the launch. But he does get his ram stun followed by a smash. Virus's turn to shine. He can't really do much when the Bears in the Emperor. He does get hit by the knockback, but he doesn't get grabbed. And there's the ult, but it just whiffs Virus as he can just walk away and stealth. Unfortunate, the Bears just lose such an important cooldown. He'll probably not get again. Gets knocked down, has to use escape or risk the Poison Breath. And we see that Virus is just swapping around. He doesn't have Flower for a few seconds. And here's the cheeky ult again. These guys are just whiffing it, pretending that they've had it all the entire time. We see that the proc on the Party Dandelion off of the blue spin. The Bear stalling out with the shield. He's got to watch out for this knockdown. Is he going to get hit by it? Yes, he does. And here's the big Poison Breath combo. Luckily, the Bears has his persistence up, and he does get out of there. But that is it for all of his escape. The Bears trying to use the red spin to catch him. 5 seconds on his escapes, and he's just SSing. Just playing it very safe. This is a very dangerous game, as they only have one interfere from Guardian's side. And Virus just hiding in his smoke. He's in so much control. This is what we're expecting. Here's the Ram Smash, and Virus doesn't even bother to escape. It's okay. He can get out of this, which he does. And here we go with the tab swap. And here's the switch out and the interfere by Duck and Zac. And we're kind of in an interesting situation as the Bears has 10 seconds until he's out of there. And he's just going to chill. And then he gets caught by the Z-Drag. And here's the Destroyer. And that's how you land an ult, ladies and gentlemen. With so much damage with the second. And now we're back to Yasuni versus Duckball.
So Guardian are actually doing okay here, considering they've lost Aikini with 1 tag and 1 assist. We're down to 3 minutes and 35 seconds left to be played out in here. Yes has got his an ult of his own, but the Warlock one a little bit difficult to land if you don't have the proper setup. Now Duck Balls, he'll be sitting pretty, he'll be happy with his position here and the overall position of I Was Pressing It. With 3 minutes 20 seconds left to play, they're sitting pretty with very, very large HP pools, and he's just trying as the Sanctum goes in. Leech goes out from Yes, and Duck Balls now, there's the ult, is it gonna land? No! Duck Balls manages to create enough distance between him and Yasuni before coming back in, closing the gap. The Thrall goes and just gives a little bit of a parting gift Duck Balls' way as he goes out now. Yes, we'll be hoping to get that Thrall up lickety split with 55 seconds until he's out of here. Duck Balls with 25% HP, has a fair bit of survivability under his belt, but Yes has got one thing, and I'm talking about that massive damage, especially in that aerial combo, sitting out in that Ember Stomp underneath the Stone Shield, and Duck Balls will reset.
Just doing just a great job. His only weakness is the same as Duck. They cannot get out of here. Yasuni has no focus really, so he actually can't do much damage. Hey, here we go with the mantras, and you see Duck doing the usual, just eliminating that throw with the Mighty Cleave. But is the HP he returned worth it? He does get rid of the Thrall, and he gets the Sea Launch into the air. Yasuni's actually in a rather bad state, but now we switch to Virus, and Virus can take it back all from here, and knowing that the Warlock does not have Thrall. He doesn't have Escape now either. He has to hide at that Sanctum. If Virus can land a Lightning Rod through there, he may be lucky. There's the knockdown. Unfortunately, gets repulsed out of there. Virus does get the stealth. And will we see the Poison Breath into the Lightning Rod? And then we see so much chunking damage. The Bears hang on for dear life for his team. And now we're switched where the Bears actually can tag out, but Virus cannot. So Virus has to also play pretty well. Not well enough to make up for the other two players that the Bears has lost his one friend. We see Virus also for the early flower for the lower cooldown. He does get caught though. Will he opt to escape right now? The Bears getting the grips. And now Virus is retreating. He doesn't have flower for a bit. Does get the knockdown. The tab escape is blown, but no tech chase on it from the cease or the charge disable from Virus's side. The Bears catches the bolt strike with the knockback, but unfortunately the one getter prevents the Daze Leap from the Bears side.
Now the two destroyers come in. They basically kiss each other underneath the Ember Stomp. How romantic. The Bears and the Virus now will go head to head. The Fire Mine is down. Actually misses. There's the Bombard Poison Breath. And the Bears now, it seems like he's delaying the inevitable here. Virus is going absolutely ham. Meanwhile, the Bears trying his best to just spin the win. Actually gets a fantastic knockdown there. Now Virus feels a fair bit of damage, is forced to back away, has now got no escapes at all. Lotus is down, Stealth is down. Retreat comes back up with 12 seconds left on the clock. Virus will be looking to make the most of this. This now comes in for the Bears. 42 seconds left, ladies and gentlemen, and then we will go down to the number crunch. 3 seconds and Virus is out, and he'll be thanking his lucky stars because he's in the middle of a combo, and that just opens it up for Zach to come in and receive the rest of it. Not looking good at all. I Was Pressing It all of a sudden take a lot of damage, and that just may have breathed a fair bit of life back into Guardian's game here, because that's a lot of damage, and it all comes down to it at the end. 17 seconds now, and Zach sits back, throws out the Tether Blade, and Thrall's now coming in. The Gravity Well is on. 9 seconds now, Hank. Here we go. This one's going to go down to the wire here. More Tether Blades. We can see the massive combo now coming out. It's Zach this time. That may have just swung it back in the way as the Bears has been taken out. And in the closing seconds of the game, I Was Pressing It. Well, actually, we are going to go down to the crunchy. There's 1% on Yasuni's HP. I think this one's going to go over to I Was Pressing It. Yes, well done in the end. Pretty comfortably. And Yes and Guardian will go down to the losers bracket, mate. Wow, what a game.
Yeah, I Was Pressing It was just super cool. Virus was super level-headed and just controlled the entire match. By the way, before we continue, don't forget to click down there for your chance to win a Scarlet Bird costume. Can't get enough of these, I'm sure. But regardless, back to the game, we see that Virus is just super calm. We see him using the Ice Spine. We see him not being trapped, essentially. He was so much in control. The Poison Breath, able to just bait out the escapes. So overall, I Was Pressing playing super well. Guardian having one chance after losing Aikini, where Virus had no escapes and he could not tag out. And they tried to capitalize it, but it was just 1 second too late. Yasuni got the aerial call. He could have finished it right there, right then, and then auto tagged out. Unfortunately, that was probably their loss from there.
Well, that is it for the first 2 games. Hank, it's only been 2 games. All of them have gone the whole way to the final round. The first round was Bag Milk completing a reverse sweep against Legacy. They will be going up against I Was Pressing It, who you just saw on stream defeat Guardian. We're going to be getting into that game very shortly, but we're just going to take a short break here at the Blade and Soul channel. So don't go anywhere. We'll be back right after this.
Become a part of me in a world with so much pain.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the North America 3v3 Blade and Soul Rumble in the Realm. It's day 2, and I am talking about finals day. And if you have just joined the stream on either Facebook, Twitch, or YouTube, welcome. And I'm just going to recap the results of the first 2 matches that we've had on stream. Yes, only 2 games have been played, both of them going all the way to the 3rd match. It was Bagged Milk and Legacy in game number 1, and after Bagged Milk, let's just say a tactical timeout was used, they came in through with the reverse sweep, and then it was I Was Pressing It and Guardian with a 2-1, another victory again that was extremely down and close to the wire, and they'll be going head-to-head on stream now. Bagged Milk and I Was Pressing It. My name's Kit Fox, thanks so much for joining me, and I am joined once again by Hank, my man, Blade Master Extraordinaire. How are you?
Did you call me a Blade Master?
I did. I'm sorry. I'm thinking of Frozone. I'm so sorry. I apologize. Shout out to Frozone in the chat. I'm sorry about that. But yes, you're a good lad. Let's just leave it at that.
Happy to be here. Excited for the next match. We have Bagged Milk versus I Was Pressing It. We have I Was Pressing... Ignore that. Don't forget to grab your code right there from your amazing Blade Master caster, Hank, right here, saying grab your codes, get your outfit, enjoy your day.
You're like, don't associate me with those Blade Masters. What are you?
Regardless, though, we're gonna have an exciting match. Next one, we have our Bagged Milk again versus I Was Pressing It. Yeah. And we have Bagged Milk running that extremely different, I would say, ranged comp, right? Or am I? No, that's the wrong people. I'm sorry. Bagged Milk with Poe Haran, Satanical, and Oxtra with versus I Was Pressing It with Virus the Bears and Zach. And here we have them on screen. This time, it seems we're not gonna get our... Oh, here we go. Virus versus Satanical first, actually. And we see Virus trying to go in with the 1-get-up, tries to get the knockdown. Satanical says, no, thank you, just gonna sweep away. Uses the iframe and just kind of baits out the 5-foot. Virus saw it coming, just decoys it out of it, but gets gripped out of the smoke, gets rolled, followed with the lightning draw tech chase right there. Doesn't quite get the RMP stunt, so Satanical has used his escape. Virus has used both escapes. Are we gonna see a reset here? And we see, we see Duckballs trying to save the day right here, tries to get the date, unfortunately, and we see a switch to Zach on the Summoner, not the Warlock, versus Oxtra again on the Summoner.
Ooh, Oxtra taking a lot of damage, gets chunked to below 50% of the HP, but you know what? He's a Summoner, he'll be happy just to recuperate that one back up, but he's going up to get Zach, probably one of the best Summoners in the NA region on his tried-tested and well-known class. Not putting out the Warlock this time, as you mentioned now, throwing out lots and lots of rain damage here. You can see the Sunflower getting in on the action. Rose Thorns too. Zach and now Poan will come in and got caught out on the tag. So that was interesting. Zach able to capitalize there, just utilizing his experience. Poe has got the Sky Stone down and now will utilize that one. Takes to the skies. Doesn't actually get too much damage off on Zach, who is quite comfortable. Just to take this one at the range game. Let him do his thing.
You see the Alpha Card pretty much stuck in the root, so who needs any sort of CC? You see the blue buff for the Summoner. You see so much Sunflower damage. Unfortunately, he gets the escapes and the Ivory and Satanical, so the blue buff's kind of nullified. You see the lightning draw against Satanical, just bursting in some damage. Fortunately, didn't knock down or stun, so Zach doesn't take the extra lightning draw crit. See Duck go in with the smash, so just throwing Oxtra into the air. He's taking so much damage from that. Actually, just able to heal through as Destroyers. You know, their arrows aren't that great, and Zach was just pushed out of range from Poe's pressure. And we see the switch in from Virus, and we see the very dominant Sinners. I believe that's the plan right here. Staying in stealth, wasting Poe's tag in. And now you have Oxtra just trying to find this invisible scene. Gets stunned, gets knocked down, blue buff, or not blue buff, gets bombarded in from there. You see how much HP has. Oxtra's at 18%. He's trying to get out of there, and he does. So it's Poe's turn to shine. But we've seen the Gunner versus Sin matchup, and Virus is so proud of it. Gets hit by the Daze, and we see Poe uses his escape and his Tombstone here. Virus is just completely out of range, so says no thank you to Tombstone. Tries to push his in there. The Tombstone just chunking a little bit of damage, but Virus is okay, you know. Unfortunately, he had to switch to a Lotus recovery, so the blue buff timer would not have him still get stealth. And we see that Poe is just trying to catch Virus right now. We see the tag in from Oxford, just going to heal a bit. Virus just kind of chilling out there, trying to just catch the Sin, and the Sin, or not the Sin, the Gunner, and then we swap out for Duckball. Duckball actually opting in at the Destroyer versus Gunno. See if this is any better. We see the guard breaking. Unfortunately, it doesn't break the guard, but you see the quick smash damage. The Summoner comes to save and gives the heal for Duck, so nothing really happening. Lands the Daze Ember Stomp, and you see Poe using his Alpha Call right there. Retreats to his side of the map with the Style Stomp. And we see Duckball's very patient heal Ember Stomp, and what is he gonna do from here?
I'm just happy to take this one and create as much distance between himself and the big Destroyer Duckballs as possible. The Duck says, I will have absolutely none of that, just quick shot coming out from Poe over and over again, just trying to do something, make a dent in this big meaty man that is in front of him in terms of Duckballs. Now 45% HP, and he takes a lot of damage. The assist will come in, and good night, Pohan. He is taken out and removed from the game. Bag Milk now all of a sudden on the back foot. They are struggling and struggling hard. As I say that, this is their time. They get a fair bit of damage off, but Zach comes in on the Summoner and just heals that all back up like it was absolutely nothing. So the assists are very, very good here. They're still sitting on one each on the side of I Was Pressing It in terms of health. And having a look at what's been removed from Bag Milk, you've got one tag in, one assist, and it's soon to be Oxtra as well if he's not careful. Zach now goes in with the cat and will secure the kill. Oh no, Bag Milk. Not like this. Not like this.
Zach just claiming his right, knowing Oxtra had no way out, no escapes, and running blue petals. There's no way he can stand this. But Satanico just doing his best right there. But he gets some good amount of damage, gets the grips, trying to escape out of it. Doesn't get wallbang, good for him, but he does get caught by the Daze. The dual strike will prevent that, actually. And you see, you know, Zach just gonna do some PvP, and it gets the stun off the cat, launched into the air. And you see the little Rose Thorn damage, and you see the cat ult there. Kind of cheeky, trying to get the Daze. They said you come in here, you're gonna get Daze. The True Friend is active, so he can just PvE him any way he wants. Satanical is being chopped little by little, and now Virus is gonna go in for so much damage. His team is just not even opting to save their defensive skills. And you see that powerful aerial mine again, and then Satanical doesn't seem like he'll have any HP left, and killed by the ridiculous DOT that is the Summoner.
So round one of these best of three, going over to I Was Pressing It, and they played that one very, very well. I must say, Zach looks a lot more comfortable on his Summoner than he does on the Warlock, and I guess that's natural. I mean, when you've played nothing but Summoner and then make a switch to Warlock because you think it's, you know, he's, you know, his words, anybody can play it, but, you know, he's a good Warlock, don't get me wrong. Like, that's why he's able to pull it off and use it effectively here in tournaments at this level. But watching him play Summoner, it just looks a lot more comfortable. It looks like he knows it a lot better, and you could see that in the way that he played there. He wasn't giving away, you know, no cheeky wallbangs like he did in the previous round, getting taken out. The Summoner, he's a lot more mobile, a lot more composed. So I like seeing him on that, and I think everybody else does too.
Yeah, they were definitely playing super well, especially Virus with his great interference. You notice he got so many aerial mines, which is the off-spec for the landmine. It only does pure damage, but as an interferer, it can do so much. If it's launched into the air, it does even double its own damage. With the blue buff, it can completely obliterate a character, as we've already seen once. And without the blue buff, a hefty amount. Back to Milk is definitely going to have to be careful, because you see right here, not only do you have to fear wallbang, you have to fear aerials, and what you, the viewers, don't have to fear is trying to enter your code right down there at the bottom. Type in that link, try to get your Scarlet Bird. Always have to do a shout out for that, because you guys will probably get mad if I don't mention it. Anyway, regardless though, Bag Milk has a lot to cover for. You have the wall bangs from Destroyer, you have the neutral game of the Sin, you have just the pure damage of a Summoner. Just by existing, his DOTs can just chop you off 10-15%. Not much you can do there. Oxtra has to be kind of careful. He was tagged in. His loss was in the wrong build. He had blue petals. He had bees. A Summoner sees that, and they're like, you can't resist ranged attacks, and you have bees, meaning I can resist your ranged attacks. Easy tag and send in Zach. Finish the Oxtra. The mirror match is done.
He knows very, very well. Remember, Scarlet Bird on offer. Make sure it's case sensitive, ladies and gents, so make sure that you stay well on top of that. The players, meanwhile, are playing for $1,500 cash money prize. Also get their choice as 2 costumes. Second place, $1,200. Third place, I think it was $900. And third place is $300 in Hong Moon coin. So not all bad. Like we said, everybody here gets the opportunity to win something today. Except you and I, Hank. We're the only ones left out. We get to go home with nothing. Everybody else gets all this free stuff. It's crazy.
Are you kidding? We get to see these games live. We get to tell you how we feel. How often do people listen to what you say? And I don't know about you. I love hearing my own voice. Sarcastically, of course. Regardless,
we all know you do.
Don't forget to get your codes right there. We're going to get into the match real soon right now. Once again, it's going to be the second set for Bagged Milk versus I Was Pressing It. I Was Pressing It, you know. They're essentially the different iteration of some Battle Brawl, you know, the Summoner / Warlock with the Sin and Destroy. So they're the experience. They're definitely not the underdog. Bagged Milk, though, they're the underdogs, you know. They're the only experienced one is Satanical. He's on the Blade Dancer. You have the Gunner, a very new class, and you have the Summoner, which isn't often seen in 3v3s, especially in NA. Besides Zach, and even then Zach opted for the Warlock. So you can tell this is an underdog. This is an uphill battle. I don't know what they have to do, but they have a lot to do.
Yeah, Zach comfortable in his mirror match coming up here. It's going to be Oxtra and Virus to start things off. So Summoner versus Assassin. Both of these guys pretty comfortable with what's in front of them here. Virus more so. Already you can see him opening up with that Poison Breath Bombard. Not wasting any time. And Oxtra now just already on the back foot. Not where Bagged Milk need to be. They want to be coming out like a bull at a gate. They want to hit the ground running, all guns blazing. Pardon the pun, Kohan. Virus now is the one who's taking the damage with the assist coming in from said Gunner. And he won't be too phased about that one. He's got that mist should decide to use, but no escapes at the moment. Lotus has been used, as has the retreat stealth. So now Oxtra with the call-ins, and have a look at the Destroyer coming in with that red spin, trying to get that wallbang off. In the end, goes for the iron plating, just helping Virus out a little bit there. But that was almost monstrous in the first minute.
Yeah, Satanical being very smart, predicted, saw the Destroyer, immediately tagged and protected his friend. And now we see Poe versus Virus. Virus actually kind of losing a lot of opportunity there. His HP is a bit low, which should be okay. Poe using his Alpha, his Tombstone still off cooldown, so he's not sure what he can do. Gets launched into the airweb, so Alpha Claw is virtually useless. Gets hit with one knockdown, and fortunately gets the one get up. Virus not quite capitalizing it. The Bull Rush hits it, and then we get the tech chase from the double barrel. Virus using his escape, but can still flower whenever he needs to, versus Poe, who does not have any more of his Alpha Claw. He's gonna have to wait 25 seconds for Tombstone too. It's not able to get much damage. And we see him Skystoning, just trying to be kind of desperate almost, because he needs to get out of here now. He's trying to close it in himself. Sets the Skystone up. Counter not really doing much, as it can give him that little iframe, but the Sin says, okay, I'll just wait it out. Virus will be tagged out in 5 seconds. Tombstone will be up in 5 seconds. So we're going to see kind of an interesting thing right here. We see Zach gets launched instantly in the air, and we see Duck has to use it to protect his friend. Tries to break through that barrier, and he does get the knockback followed by the stun. And Poe uses his escape. Does he have his Alpha Call again? He's going to take so much damage, and he gets pinned to the floor, and there's going to be so much damage. And he's a kill from the blue buff to the Bombard and the Bees combo. And poor old Poe just didn't have the chance. Stayed in just a second too long. Duck Balls is now versus Satanical. Destroyer versus BD. Duck probably loving this matchup right now because he's in so much control. All he's lost so far is an Emperor Stomp. All he has to do is get those dazes in. Satanical launches in there. Is he going to go for the line draw? No, it's actually off cooldown, so what can he do? He's just going to try to get, and he gets hit by the tab escape, strafes out of there. Both spinners out of their escapes.
Good sawing Falcon connecting there from Satanical, getting the knockdown onto Duck Balls, but in comes the assist. Virus just opening it up, trying to deal some damage here to either Satanical or Oxtra, and with Poar dying with 2 tag-ins and 2 assists, that is the equivalent to losing a queen in the game of chess. You know, you're still a chance to win, but you're definitely going to struggle, and Satanical now trying to take a rook here. He goes over and deals a lot of damage to Zach. That'll do good for the calculations at the end, but Zach is just happy to sit back as the Summoner does, doing Summoner things, just heal up a lot of that HP. Now Oxtra comes in. It's a mirror match style gameplay here. 1 minute and 30 seconds before Zach is out of here. And it's looking comical at the moment, as Summoner versus Summoner is. Now in comes Virus. He will go up against Oxtra. Throws down the Fire Mine. Complete miss. Now closes the gap. That was a turning leaf. Now the Bombard going in. Not actually catching much other than the cat in the end. Oxtra now it's his turn to take some damage. There's the Bombard into the web. Have a look at this one go. Satanical comes in there, trying to deal a bit of damage. I think There was a lightning draw. Might have missed that. Oxtra now, though, needs to be careful. Virus gets the kill on him now, and Bagged Milk are staring down the barrel of a 2-0 defeat.
Yeah, we see this is a pretty horrible situation. Not gonna lie, Satanical's by himself. He has no lightning draw either for some quick damage. Everyone's near full HP. He just wasted a boot onto that. And Doc just decides to slam him in there. Gets the smash to Fury. Does Ember Stomp, prevents the knockback from the Flock. And now Satanical is just retreating as far as he can. He hits into the iframe. And Satanical gets the knockdown here. Is he gonna go? And he fails the ground game right there. Duckball's just chilling. He wasn't able to get the Z Dragon, and he gets gripped instead. Uses the escape. And we see a ult available for the summoner, but that's not needed. Who needs an ult right there when you have a destroyer? And you see the ult from the destroyer and the trip. 2 ults on with the bombard, and it was so flashy. You can't tell which of those 3 skills finished it.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. In the end, it was stylish. And that's all we care about. And the win going over to, I was pressing it, getting the victory there over their opponent. So they will be your first finalists. They will be sitting pretty. They've got themselves a cushion, Hank. They're going to sit on the fact that for themselves to be defeated, they need to get the bracket reset from beneath them. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go into the lower bracket games. We'll get that one up on screen for you now between Legacy and Guardian. Now, this is something to play for, Hank. The loser of this game will bow out of the 3v3 Rumble in the Realm, going away with $300 in Hong Moon coins. And that's not bad, but I tell you what, the big cash money bot is better.
Oh yeah, definitely. This is not a game you want to lose, because not only if you lose, you only get your Hong Moon coin, but you lose your chance to stay any more into this lovely tournament. And I'll tell you what, Legacy and Guardian, the pressure is on them, especially for Legacy. Again, them being the underdogs, the new players, excluding Sayuri on the Warlock. What do you think is going to happen?
I mean, I'm expecting to see Legacy pop off with their gunner. I believe it was Ryan Dapple. He needs to redeem himself, because in the first game that he had against Bag Milk, I think 2 out of the 3 rounds, possibly 3 rounds, he was the first one to take a lot of damage every single time. He was forced to tag out below 20% HP, and that was costing not only himself but his team. That's the double-edged sword of the 3v3. You got that gunner in there for massive amounts of damage, but Ryan, he's a fish. He's catching the bait every single time, and his escapes are going down. He's just getting caught. Needs to be careful. That's something that I think he might have picked up on. He's a smart player. He knows what he's doing, and he'll come back harder, stronger, better in this game. They're playing for the money, like we mentioned, ladies and gents. You get the opportunity to take home a Scarlet Bird costume drawn on Wednesday. The link is right down there at the moment. It is case sensitive. Make sure you type it in, enter into the draw. And if you're feeling lucky, like I said, Scarlet Bird costume is going to be all yours.
Yeah, we'll probably be expecting, as always, the Gunner versus Gunner startup. Surprisingly, it's actually Yasuni versus Ryan Dapple. And there is no mistake. We have the Warlock leading for the first time in quite a while. The leading 2 probably top tier classes. Yasuni not even bother getting his Thrall out. He gets Ryan Dapple out of the aerial as he stayed too long in that Skystone. Ryan does get a Skystone now, but I don't think he's going to have very many hooks now. His escape was used in midair. This is a horrible situation. And now Ryan has no hooks left. He's going to have to use the Thrall. The Thrall resets and he gets his 2 hooks. And the Daze gets off, but you know, Ryan Dapple just trying to get out of the range. Gets the Daze Bomb. Yasuni just decides to instant roll. Now he has his time distortion. Ryan Dapple once again escaping out of there. Does not want to deal with that. Sets a Skystone. Sets its Alpha Call. Pretty good in position. Gets hit by the Soul Shackle, but that's okay. The Skystone will prevent any more damage right there. Tries the PvE through the Bastion right there. There's the Tombstone trying to break through some damage. Unfortunately, it gets caught out as he's too cocked with the unload GCD. Just prevents him from really responding. There's the wall bank just slightly off the bears. You're getting a little greedy there, but that's okay. I suppose that you are on the leading side. Yasuni is actually in a good position. Ryan Dapple's out of hooks and out of escapes. He finally gets his hook back. And, you know, he uses both of them already. This could be very bad if they capitalize on this. He's already caught into a combo. Dark and saving his teammate, but Brian's down to 54% HP. And it's been a little bit over a minute, a little bit over a minute. They will be tagged out in about 15 seconds. The escape is finally back for Ryan, where it feels like he never really had when the Bull Rush mission gets hit into a block. And now you're down to 41 HP. Ryan, do not lose any more HP, please, Cry Friend. And here, as I say that, you're down to 30%. You're taking so much damage. And we're switching from Ikini to Sayuri. And yet again, a Warlock versus Gunner matchup, but of the different team.
That was interesting. As soon as you said, Ryan, please take no more damage, he decides to hook himself in and literally kiss Yasuni and just take it to the head, 20% damage, and that was it from there. Now Sayuri will actually catch Ikini up in the Sky Stone. Now this is where the Warlock really excels. You've got the Gunner who loves to hook himself around on the ground, in the air, will blow Alpha Call now that the Sanctum is down. He likes to hook himself around, and if you stay in that Sky Stone too long, as Ryan Dapple has found out, you get punished, and Yasuni, being the class of Warlock that he is able to capitalize that. Didn't even need to get the Thrall out to start the game off, because his eyes just lit up, and now you can see them going toe-to-toe. It's Ikini trying to deal some damage to Sayuri, but he's just able to block a lot of the damage coming out. Now the time distortion will go down. It's Yis this time coming in to help out Ikini, and Sayuri now is just happy to sit back down, will bring out his own Thrall. It's got a bit of a snooze fest this matchup at the moment.
They're just trading blows, but the iframe and blocks that are coming up aren't really doing anything. However, we do see that Sayuri does not have a second wind available anymore. He does have Void Walk, but the Thrall is about halfway done. Here's the time distortion, so ignore the fact that he doesn't have second wind. He has it again 3 times over. And then we see that, Ikini can just safely retreat, and then he goes back in as a quick surprise, doesn't get caught. And we're going to send in the Bears to go against this matchup, placing the Ember Stomp. Doesn't quite get the knockdown right there. We see the Warlock just trying to PvE him, but he's an Ember Stomp. How much damage are you really going to do, friend? As you see that Sayuri is losing focus, but the Wingstorm cast will keep him up. He's going to be tagged out in a few seconds. Is the Bears going to get the catch right after? No, he gets hit into the wall bang, and this could be very bad. Lucky for Ryan Dapple, the geometry just did not help for Guardian in this situation. We have Ryan again. Once again, has 3 interferes, but he's in the game with less than half HP. I'm not sure if that's the wisest choice, but we'll see what happens here as he does get the escape off of the Bears, and he lands the Tombstone, and we see the switch out to Yasuni. And now Yasuni notices that his opponent doesn't have any escapes. Is he going to capitalize it? The Haze Bomb hits into the Bastion. This is not great for Ryan, as that's the most reliable CC yet. Gets hit by a Thrall across the map, launched into the air, and frozen by Dark, and luckily gets saved for the day.
We haven't really seen too much of Dark and Master make an impact on this game so far, but there's still time. 5 minutes and 43 seconds now. Yis versus Ryan Dapple, and Yis is forced to take a fair bit of damage. Ryan's still in that air again and needs to be careful because Yis lands a Tether Blade, but there is no follow-up. Still hanging on to that leech. Now in comes Dark and Master, the man himself. Inferno is down for now and is forced to use his second wind to break out of the imprison. So Yis would have seen that. Now Darkin just really needs to be careful. In comes the Destroyer, De Bears, providing him Yis with an iron plating, but needs to be careful because Yis is just taking some damage. 48 seconds until he is outskied. 5 minutes and 9 seconds until the game is done. Blade going in again from Yis. Does have ult available, so keep your eyes on that one. It'd be interesting to see that one land. We haven't really seen a massive ult yet. Speaking of ults, there's the dual dragons from Dark, and it was onto the Thrall, so not really impactful, or as impactful as you would have hoped. So Yis now just throws down his Sanctum and just takes the plays the range game here as Ice Armor popped by Dark, and he's got survivability under his belt here. That's where he will excel. Now Yis tags out, and Darkin is now forced to go up against the Gunner, and already he'll bring in Ryan Dapple just to even it up a little bit. It's, Hook City Hook City at the moment with both Gunners out on the field. Skystones now will go down. Tombstone from Ikini. Darkin Master needs to be careful here. 33 seconds until he tags out. Ikini sitting pretty though, 100% HP. Just under 1.5 minutes left on the field. Sayuri now comes in for Darkin.
Yeah, but Legacy in a very bad situation. They no longer have a part of defense as Darkin can no longer interfere. So they have to opt and be very careful. Sayuri on the other side of the map. Ikini had his skill resets. If he plays this right, he can completely obliterate Sayuri, as his only friend is Ryan Dapple without a party escape. Unfortunately, as I said, he throws the Haze Bomb straight into a Bastion. As we've seen time and again, that will not help you. And you see the 5-hit iframe popped by Sayuri's repulse followed by the left click. And now Aikini is just kind of gliding around, doesn't have any of his major cooldowns, does have his alpha call though, but Sayuri knows he just needs to stall for time. There's a daze, there's a stun, the tab escape is used, and here's the leech Q. No, there's no thrall, so he just uses leech without any CC. This could be very bad. We're switching to Ryan, but he gets instant aerial, and he might just die as there's no party defense. Darken cannot help in that situation. Darken himself is by himself. Has Sayuri for some help, but he has to stall very carefully after all. He has 15 seconds, I believe, until he gets a party interfere, which could have been used for his teammates, not for himself. He does get the stun off Aikini from strafing, but Aikini says you're going in the air anyways, and there's so much, and there's sniping damage. Luckily, Darken learned from last time in the iframe, the sniping all from Aikini. 5 seconds out. The interference, if we pass the 3-minute mark, so everyone gets one additional interference. We see the Bears turn.
It's so easy to dodge that snipe, isn't it now? In comes the Bears. He actually catches Darken Master, calls in his gunner for some damage. Darken has absolutely nothing on the plate except the ice armor. And now at 10% HP, he is struggling. Sayuri has a tag in and an assist left, but so did Ryan. Again, he does have money in the bank. There is the Destroyer ult, but Darken Master with the ice armor able to negate and heal up. Now, the Bears decides to play the recoup game as well. We'll sit under the stone shield and just breathe deep. Darken Master now needs to be careful now. He's got no escape, does have a backstep, but that's it. And the stop now goes down to Bears, unable to catch that one. We'll bring in Aikini now. Sayuri will come in also.
Oh, we have Sayuri just hanging on for dear life, 30%. He does have one party iframe, and you know, he gets hit by the haze bomb, and that's really bad. He's forced to retreat. F goes immediately hide in that sanctum. You see the reset for Aikini, and you see Yasuni just pushing him out of sanctum, says thank you. Here's the haze bomb again. No tech chase right there. There's the bull rush tech chase. The escape finally gets used by Sayuri. He's on low HP, and the Bear's getting greedy. There's the wall bang this time, actually landing, and you see the damage finally die into Aikini with just some simple quick shot crossfire cancel. And Darken Master, he's by his lonesome self. He has a divine belt, but how much can you do in this situation?
So now Aikini versus Darken Master. Darken throws down the meteor shower. Tombstone now from Aikini. Darken needs to be careful, gets hooked in the air. And this is just delaying the inevitable here at the moment. There it is, the round taken by Aikini and Guardian. So Legacy, unfortunately for them, they are now staring down the barrel of a defeat tank. Should they lose this one, they will be going out with only $300 in Hong Kong coin. Like we said, it's not bad, but when there's decent cash on the line, you really want to be making sure that you progress through. Unfortunately, they just went down in their first game against Bag Milk. Now they find themselves here, and just maybe their opponents might be their kryptonite.
Yeah, Legacy's in a pretty tough situation. You know, it's kind of easy to call out if, hey, you know, your Force Master is the only party iframe. You don't really have a choice. And before we go on, you know, once again, Scarlet Bird costume. How did I forget the name after today? Anyways, don't forget to try to enter the lottery, etc., etc. You guys can do it. But once again, Legacy, yeah, that's the problem. Darken Master used so many defensive things because his teammates kept getting caught. I mean, I can't simply say, hey, Legacy, your key to winning is don't get caught. That's not exactly how it works. But you do have to pay attention to what Guardian does. They know how to be offensive, so they force your defensive skills. Meanwhile, they're not trading 1-for-1. They're using probably 1 interfere for every 2 that Legacy is. They're not playing things right. They're not getting their matchups right. You know, they're doing the Warlock and Gunslinger kind of matchup. And if they're realizing, hey, maybe Ryan can't, maybe you have to face it. Maybe Ryan cannot beat Yasuni in a 1v1, and you're costing resources, and then you switch Sayuri, maybe can't beat Aikini. Why not try a mirror? Why not Gunner versus Gunner? Warlock versus Warlock? But regardless, here we go. Ryan, yet again, leading the charge versus Yasuni. Let's see if anything changes. Uses the Sky Stone, sets up the emergency one, uses it again, and now you're out of hooks, friend. This is the problem. You have no mobility this early on, and now you have to use your 5-hit iframe right there. Your deadlock gets you. You get your hook. Now you're down to 1 hook, friend. I'm counting these. You're at 0, friend. Now you're getting stuck. You get stunned. You have the tombstone. You have the alpha. You have to escape. You have to get reset. This is the situation that you aren't playing correctly, Ryan. This is very difficult, I realize, but something has to change. Unfortunately, you might not get the chance, luckily.
They committed a time distortion as well, so that's something else you need to take into account. So Yuri came in to reset Ryan because, like you said, no mobility, and now you're just happy to sit there and block a lot of that lead rain like it's absolutely nothing. Now Ryan, we're basically back to where we started. As finally this takes some damage. In comes the assist from the Bears. Don't know about that one. A little bit of a misclick there. He will be out. And now 42 seconds for both of these guys before the mandatory tags. Yasuni will throw down the thrall. Ryan, he has to sit back and, like you said, wait for all of these cooldowns to reset. Skystone up in 3, Tombstone in 40. That's something to keep your eyes on. He will not have Tombstone available up until he has to mandatory tag out.
Yeah, but lucky if Ryan was able to play, he should have capitalized it, because they've seen it. They used a party iframe. There's no destroyer, and Yasuni has no escape, but they're giving him too much time. It essentially reset the game when it was Legacy's favor. Ryan, you should have been a bit more aggressive with it. I'm sorry to say, though, you definitely had your chance. And now the iframes are back. Now the cooldowns are back. Now the tagging are back. You're opting to leech, but don't even bother with CC because the escapes are going to happen, you know? And you see the instant launch by Aikini. He knew, he tagged in for an instant launch. There's the small wall bang. Unfortunately, that's a bang with no wall right there. And it doesn't look like actually the Bears is in the right build. He's in the Shadow build, the Shadow Fury build with the green Ember Stomp. Seems that he's made for Sayuri, actually, not against a Force Master. Will this punish them greatly? But we'll see right now that he quickly gets the stun and protects himself from Darken Master. Unfortunately, he gets caught by the Frost Burst.
Very well timed there by Darken Master catching in that Frost Burst, but the Bears won't be two-phased. And now this is massive damage coming in as the Bears gets launched, but the Sanctum will come in. I believe that was from no, it was actually from Sayuri, who actually has no assists. That's something to note. And meanwhile, Yasuni, the other Warlock on Guardian side, has got 3, so that just might be very, very telling. We mentioned early on Sayuri had to commit a time distortion to Ryan Dappledy because he used all of his hooks. And speaking of gunners, Aikini now comes in to rule it out against Darken Master's Force Master. Lots of damage now being shredded. There it is, the time distortion coming in. Sayuri now 1 minute and 40 seconds left on the clock. Aikini 1 minute and 20 will throw out the Skystone to be utilized whenever he feels like it. In comes the Bears against Sayuri now, taking lots and lots of damage. This could be 100-0 if he's not careful. So much damage coming out here from the combination of the Bears and Aikini. And now, yes, Sayuri makes the smart move, tags out, brings in Ryan, who opens himself up to a combo. Welcome to the arena.
Now Ryan just blitzing around, Aikini copying the thing. The air is, the sky is the limit, friends. But we see that definitely Sayuri took a lot of damage. Darken might need a save for later, but Aikini's actually the one getting punished right here as he's trying to get out and get in with the bull rush. Ryan just able to escape, uses the alpha call so he can cancel the double shot, but he predictably tagged out. Now Yasuni has free reign over this gunner, and he catches Darken Master, and there's no party saves for him. There's no way for him to get out of that, as Darken's the only party save, and once again, instead of overusing Darken, they underuse Darken and punish greatly. Sayuri is going to be in an interesting situation. About 40% HP, probably heal a little more from Bastion, but now his Thrall is out in the open. Are they just going to PvE this? Aikini going to offer? Gets the Thrall swap out. Aikini uses his escape. He still has Tombstone. He can still summon his Skystone. Oh, and he actually gets caught himself. He's having to have the Bears save him out, but he took so much damage. Here's the execute, and unfortunately, not all of it hit, but here's the launch, and it should be the finish on Sayuri right there, right then. Not much of an option.
Yeah, Ryan Dapple, the lone defender, up against a full 3-man Guardian onslaught. He actually gets a fair chunk of damage onto one Aikini and secures the kill. So, it's not all sour grapes yet. He does have below 50% HP and does have to 100-0 2 team members. It's possible, but not if you're going to stay in the Skystone for too long, because this will punish you. A Warlock of that caliber gives you absolutely no quarter. Alpha call now from Ryan Dapple, just trying everything, throwing kitchen sink and all at his opponent here. He needs to because he's been launched again. That'll be game. And the ult for good measure at the end. Doesn't even proc, goddamn. But well done. Well done. And unfortunately, Legacy, they're bowing out of this tournament, Hank. They walk away with $300 in Hong Moon coins, which isn't so bad, but I think they know that they could have done better.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, once again, it was just the very beginning. You had Ryan versus Yasuni, and I'm not saying Ryan had a bad chance. I'm just saying it's been repeatedly shown you could not do that matchup, and you wasted so many resources doing so. Perhaps the Warlock mirror 50-50 chance might have been your key. But regardless, let's get to our next match. We'll have Guardian moving up. It's no longer in the bottom of the losers bracket versus Bagged Milk. What do you say about this, Kit?
I mean, the Guardian lads, they're coming off momentum, as we just saw, going 2-0 against Legacy. But Bagged Milk, they have a redemption story ahead of them because I was pressing it, seriously outclassed them. So they are the underdogs here because not only do they have to beat Guardian, they have to defeat I Was Pressing It should they be victorious in the next game. And then after that, that's a bracket reset. They'll need to defeat I Was Pressing It yet again. So that is the kicker for those guys. So it's a true underdog story, but the way that Guardian were playing in that game, I honestly think they've got the edge over Bagged Milk here, even though, you know, we haven't really seen Guardian play Bagged Milk today. I think this one is going to absolutely pop off. So stay peeled for that one, ladies and gents. It is, of course, going to be the Blade Dancer, Gunner, and Summoner on the side of Bagged Milk going up against Guardian's composition of Warlock, Gunslinger, and Destroyer. So the Destroyer really catches my eye for Guardian. De Beers has actually been playing that one very, very well so far, coming in at the right times, looking to utilize the wallbang as well as the iron plating. So he's done good so far. Let's see if he can continue it here. They're playing for Cash Hank, but the viewers, they've got that Scarlet Note code.
Yeah, definitely. Guardian playing phenomenal so far. I will say though, because of the Bears Destroyer play, this might be risky for them. He's been very aggressive and very effective. But here's the thing though, Legacy has one party iframe, the Force Master. Bagged Milk has two, the Blade Dancer and the Summoner. I'm not sure if they use the same strategy. The Bears might actually cause it for the team, you being too aggressive with their interfere. But regardless, let's see what we have. The Gunner versus Warlock matchup again. Poharan versus Yasuni. Yasuni's probably happy with this. After what he's done with Ryan, he's like, all right, one more? That'll make no difference. Let's see. You see Poe trying to use that Bull Rush double barrel combo into the neutral. Not really working right there. Probably should have opted for the guard break for Yasuni. Just happy. Gets the stun right there. And Poharan already has lost that. He doesn't have a Sky Stone, but does get the arrow. And here we have the Bears with the quick save right there. And now Poe has just escaped, but he's getting wall banged right now. Is that in range? Unfortunately, not in range for Yasuni to combo off of, but that's okay. He has a magic thing called the Thrall. Uses the Sanctum. You're not going to get unloaded in there. And you see Pohan retreating. At least he's having some good hook management right there. Staying mobile. Perhaps has a few more left. Uses the Alpha Call, but gets instant launched by the Imprison and taking not too much damage. Again, you get saved, and the Thrall gets PvE'd by the blue petals from Oxtra's side. And Poe, you know, doing fairly well, got reset and guard break. So now Aikini has to come in, but he gets instantized. Now the Bear has to use another defensive assist. This could be bad for them, as two defensive assists have been used from the Bears. So Aikini's gonna have to be very careful and extra. I think he has to play actually just very well all around. As we have the Gunner versus Gunner mirror.
Yeah, he needs to play extra cautious because now that he's only got one of those assists, the Bears will be needing to use that at the opportune time. It could be clutch, could be wasted. We'll just have to wait to see. Now the tag out from Poe will come out and bring Oxtra into play. Poe sitting very, very neat there on 3 assists, so expect Bagged Milk to absolutely pop off with some massive combo damage very, very shortly. Aikini, though, doesn't really, you know, doesn't need that at the moment because he's taken a lot. With 1 minute before he tags out, there is just so much damage coming his way. Now the assist will come in, that's De Beers, and Oxtra is receiving it, just manages to get away in the nick of time. You don't really want to be going with 2 assists, 2 tags in the bank, what Ryan has been doing. You need to get your tag on, and there we go, Satanical now will hit the ground running against De Beers.
And we see the Bears having to be in here. He no longer has an interfere. So again, and once again, this is our only defensive party iframe on Guardian's team. How will they have the Bears? He's doing pretty well against Satanical, but as I say that, he gets hit to the dual strike and forced to use it persistence right now. And we see the 5-point attempt, and he gets punished for that. Satanical taking about a quarter of his HP right there in a few seconds. The Bears could just lose his life right here, though, getting hit with all sorts of aerial combos. Satanical just safely evading, but he gets hit by the Leech Days. This could be the chance, and they opt to switch out instead for Aikini, where Satanical has no escape right now for another 10 or so seconds, and they have no Warlock to reset that, which we are kind of used to from the previous match.
1 minute and 30 seconds before Aikini goes, 50 seconds for Satanical, who will actually get himself a little bit of HP back. Aikini now throws out the Alpha Call. Now there's the Sky Stone. The Soaring Falcon actually connects, but here comes Tombstone. Aikini's turn to deal some damage. Satanical trying to iframe away. We'll have to retreat all the way back to the other end of the map, but here we go. Now it's his turn, actually launches and will land the aerial combo, and the bees coming out from Oxtra, trying to send Aikini back to the bench, but will not be able to do so. 36% HP Aikini just surviving that one.
And now we have Yasuni taking the charge, puts down his Sanctum. Might, in my opinion, be a bit premature. He's at the edge, kind of taunting. Titanical gets the dual strike, but can't quite follow up with the tech chase. He'll be auto-tagged in 5 seconds if he doesn't make enough distance. Oh, and he gets deflected right there and then. And we see that Aikini is going to take priority and do so much damage to Titanical. And now they launch Poe into the air. He could be finished just from this, and they have to use another tag from Octa defending, and now they're trying to PV the throw, but Yasuni so he's and they murder! They kill Poe, unable to really give a chance. The moment he was tagged, he was sent into the air using escapes. Oxtra himself probably had to use a good amount of skills just to protect Poe. And now we see the exchange where it's on Guardian side, where they did the appropriate amount of offensive things. They may not have a defensive assist, Poe. Do you really need one in a 3v2?
Oxtra now trying to duel it out against DeBears, who's trying his best to close this distance, actually goes for the ground and pound game, actually picks him up, and there's the wall bang! Oh, it's filthy damage coming out here from DeBears. Now Satanical comes in and receives the rest of it, throws out the Soaring Falcon, tries to make something of this lightning draw. He needs to make this work. Does actually use his tab escape, so all DeBears needs to do is catch him out here. DeBears has had enough though. 2 frags is enough for him. He brings in Yasuni, hopefully to round this one out. The ult connects, and Satanical, woof, cop that bagged milk.
Yasuni just loving using those ult finishers. Just a beautiful, beautiful bright chain showing his dominance right there. But again, we see that, you know, Guardian, I was worried, you know, the Bears, they used 3 of his assists so fast, so early, but they made it work. You know, the trade was always in their favor in this. Well, not always, but mostly in their favor. Enough where, you know, Legacy, you know, you're kind of in a corner. Or not Legacy, I'm sorry, Bagged Milk, you're in a corner right here. And Satanical playing his best right here, but you know, again, he's in the same situation as the Bears almost. Although stealth is considered a party iframe, it's not the best. It's kind of easy to catch on. So, you know, that's just how it is, but they still have a chance. You know, I think they can turn it around.
Yeah, I think they can too, and I have to echo your sentiments in saying that I was really, really worried that the Bears used 2 assists extremely early on. But other than that, he managed it very, very well. Didn't actually, I'm not 100% sure if he ended up even using his last assist. He actually came in there with fantastic red spins onto that wallbang, actually picked him up in the grapple, threw him over to the wall, and then it was just GG's from basically there on out. And it's hard to look at, isn't it? Like it's nasty on the eyes because you just know what's going to happen. You know, you've seen it time and time and time again. But it's a tactic, and look. We spoke about it on day 1, Hank. You just need to put yourself into a position where you can avoid it. So it's all up to you. If you get caught, it's you just need to take a look at your game. And as we found out there.
Yeah, and they also, I think this is more of a difference in experience because, you know, Bagged Milk, they are the newer team. You have to be careful on those auto tag outs. You know, you see the timer, but so does your opponent. If they see that, in this case, they saw that Satanical, he was going to get auto-tagged out soon. So what do? They send Aikini in early. They have him early so he can catch immediately. And it didn't matter because Satanical was already going to, he was already going to be tagged out. There's nothing he can do except make distance, which he did not do, where Poe gets heavily punished. And in return, they use Oxtra's tag into, and they just so many resources for just a small thing. This is the difference in the experience right there, you know. There's a timer on both sides, and both sides can see that timer.
So yeah, definitely the regional experience is coming through here. You've got the likes of the Bears who, you know, represented the region at the, the North American regionals. And these guys, you can see why they're so good. I mean, you've got Zach who did the exact same thing, and his boys Virus that are in the grand final at the moment, awaiting, watching this game with notepads out or iPads, regardless, whichever, taking notes down. Because let's face it, when there's $1,500 on the upper end, 2 costumes, you really want to be coming out with a big victory at the end. That's for the players, but for you guys, you get the option, the chance rather, the privilege to win yourself the Scarlet Bird costume. So there is a link right under my face there. You need to type that into your web browser. It is case sensitive, so just keep your eye on that one, and then you'll go into the draw to win the costume. It will be drawn on Wednesday, and if you've been watching throughout the weeks for the Rumble in the Realm, it changes every single day, so you can get yourself multiple entries at the costume. Hank, my man, we're just waiting on these guys before we get ourselves stuck into this one again. What do you think needs to be done differently?
I think they are letting, and this is the mistake from both the previous team and this one, they're letting Yasuni have so much. He's playing so phenomenal. Why? Well, he's just so comfortable with this gunner matchup. You know, most people would be like, oh, it's a new class. I don't know. He's catching those extra Skystone times. He knows those hook limits. He knows the 5-hit iframe. Deadlock. It's a 5-hit iframe. Warlock can break through it very easily. They simply have to use one F that repost that iframe actually hits 4 times, followed up with a mantra, instant CC, catches the gunner right there. It's so easy. The floating in the air, most classes can't catch them. Tether Blade hits an air too. Yasuni is just able to really know this matchup. Perhaps they might want to send out Oxtra. You know, the summoner has a bit more resistance, can heal a bit more, can deal with the Warlock a lot more. And they're using Oxtra a bit strangely. I know it's kind of a standard procedure. You use a tag into destroy the Thrall, but you have to keep in mind where at the point is that Thrall being used. If the Thrall does not have time distortion yet, yeah, go for it, destroy it. But if it, or rather, you don't need to destroy because there's no time distortion. There's not as much as a threat. But if they do have time distortion, that is the when you have to, or when they don't have, you should not bother with the Thrall. Regardless, though, we're gonna see the Poe versus Yasuni, and he actually gets the Haze Bomb. And you get the tech chase, but with a knockdown double barrel instead of a dazed double barrel. Not really quite getting the instant launch. Perhaps Poe, meant to expecting the bears to come in. Regardless, though, the tether doesn't quite land either. Neither does the imprison. So Yasuni has used his 2 important CCs early on. Not quite landing, but we know it's a Warlock. You still have time distortion. And Poe trying to PvE the Thrall, but you know what? Let's get time distortion first. At this point, if you PvE the Thrall, there's no real point. Tombstone Alpha Call used, Leech Q into the air, Poe taking damage, Satanical here for the save, and Satanical, trying to do that lightning draw combo, and now we say Yasuni's the one in the receiving side there. The Bears actually protecting his teammate. And Poe knows the story, retreat there, and don't get wall bang.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about. You need to avoid the edges of the arena as much as you can. Now, Yis takes a fair bit of range damage here, almost for free from Poan, and he realizes he needs to tag out here. He has still got 3 assists in the bank. Now, Skystone will be thrown out. Tombstone's still on cooldown here for Poan with 33 seconds until he tags out. Aikini, though, has come in, blows his own Tombstone and starts to unload. Now, that'll be an alpha call from Aikini, so he'll get a little bit of reset on. Poan does the exact same thing. They're just hooking away here. Poe needs to tag out because Oxtra, are we looking for a wallbang? Doesn't actually find it. Oxtra just manages to get away. Tries to go for some bees, but the Iron Plating is good. Just as Aikini was about to take some cheeky damage, he survives thanks to the Bears. 1 tag in left for him. Sorry, assist.
And we see Aikini already doing a good chunk of damage to Oxtra early when he tagged in, already chopping in half from the unload damage. But we say now it's the Bears' time to shine, this time being a little earlier in that last game, not using too many defensive assists. The Destroyer versus the Summoner, I cannot help but feel right there. The wallbang could have happened. Lucky for him, he immediately escaped and used his true friend. Now we see a retreat. Poe is actually back in the game, and keep in mind, he has 3 assists, and he gets guard broken by the knee already. Bears already having the option to use his escape, but you know what? He still has persistent. He uses the shield to get a little bit of HP. Pile drives him down. Not able to quite get the tech chase. Here's the Tombstone falling. And you know what? Now who's in the air? It's Poe, but luckily that's from a Skystone, not from a launch. But Poe is losing so much HP from Aikini pressuring him. And now we're not really sure how he's going to respond. Satanical had to use a party iframe, but not really any much more. We see the Bears actually switching in from Oxtra, doesn't get the wall bang from the true friend, protecting Oxtra over there.
Oh, Pounce was used defensively in the end there, and the Bears almost gets taken down with the cheeky tag in coming in from, I believe it was Satanical coming in, offering some kind of assistance. Oxtra now is forced to deal with this thrall of Yasuni coming in, but the Sanctum will go down, protecting this for now. Oxtra is just happy to sit back and create space between him. There's the Soul Shackle. Needs to be careful. Yeah, Oxtra gets deleted! Absolutely demolished by the tag in. If the time distortion was good, in came Aikini and just opened it up and just filled Oxtra full of holes, turned it into Swiss cheese, and the poor old lad is now out with 1 tag in and 2 assists still left in the bank. That is huge. Bag Milk have got a task in front of them now, going up against a full 3-man Guardian lineup, and Aikini is on the field there with full HP. does get the save coming in here from DeBears, who has now got no assists. Satanical hits the ground and gets relaunched almost immediately, has got nothing to deal with this. And Poha now comes in and receives the rest of the damage at the end of that combo, 17% HP. This will be GG, and it is Guardian in the end, convincingly taking down Bad Milk. Bagged Milk.
Yeah, Guardian just completely dominant. They look super comfortable in that last matchup, except, you know, in the beginning, you know, I think Yasuni might have slipped up a bit, but it's okay. Played pretty calm, was able to recover from there. We have the issue of Poe just not capitalizing on any assist, and that might be his teammates' fault, you know, not giving him an opening for really any aerial damage. But regardless of what's happened in the past, let's get to the now. We are coming into our finals with I Was Pressing It versus Guardian. Kit. This was our second match of our day, and now it could be our second to last or our final one. What do you take of this?
Well, if the first round was anything to go by, I expect this one to go the whole shebang. We have got, it's not a best of 3 anymore. Now that we're at the real nitty-gritty stages, it will be a best of 5. But Guardian, like we said earlier on, they've got to struggle here. They have to come through and reset the bracket against I Was Pressing It. All I Was Pressing It need to do is take 3 rounds. It's simple, right? Surely they could do that. That's what they'll be thinking. The confidence is there. If you know the players, they will know that. But Guardian, they've got the task in front of them. They are battlers, DeBears, Yasuni. They know exactly what they need to do. They've been the underdogs before. They've been the champions before. And right now, I just think they've got what it takes to come back over their arch rivals here.
Yeah, I think the big key right there is you have to deal with Virus. And it sounds kind of strange, like, oh, he's just one person. What can he do? You have to keep in mind, he is the Sin. And as we've seen before, whenever Virus goes against the Sin, it is one-sided. The Gunner has such a difficult time catching the Sin. Why? Because the only real thing you can do against a Sin as a Gunner is hope you land Bull Rush or maybe the SS AoE. And it is very, very difficult. Whereas the Sin has almost complete free reign. And you also have to keep in mind, you have a Warlock too, which the Sin does fairly well against. The only class really good against, or in a good matchup against the Sin would be the Bear's Destroyer. But if you send him out early against Virus, you're risking a lot, and you better get your good return from that.
Well, there's over $2,500 up on the line for this match, Hank. We have got the winner walking away with $1,500, second place walking away with $1,200. And third place, Bag Milk, they're not too bad. They've got themselves $900. And of course, costumes are involved as well. Speaking of costumes, there's a Scarlet Bird on offer for you guys, the viewers. Make sure you type in that link at the bottom of your screen, case sensitive, into your browser. This will be one of the last chances that you'll actually have to get involved with this one, Hank, because we're now into the grand final. Time's running out.
You better get them while they're still hot. But regardless, though, even if you're here for the costume, stick around, because these matches are definitely good, just as good, if not better. We're expecting, as we have Virus, Duckwell, and Zach, will they change their comp at any situation? No, we had the standard Sin, Destroyer, Warlock with Virus going against Aikini at the beginning. Aikini putting his safe Skystone, tries to counter so he doesn't get tab swapped. Virus actually playing very safe with his counter and tries to see some, but hits into the deadlock. And we see Aikini launching in the air, and he's running the Shadow build different this time, perhaps saving it for the very end. You see that he gets hit by the smash from Duckballs that might hurt their team, as you know they have no defensive assist. Tombstone is used. Virus has to be careful because that can essentially stop and prevent any sort of movement. Virus trying to get out, but he gets hit by the Warlock, and now we have the Venn diagrams of resetting here. So the entire thing that just happened might have not just meant anything, as C-Stun was thrown into deadlock yet again. Aikini playing very well in this matchup, tries to get the cheeky Undertaker, does not quite land it out of stealth, but he has Skystone to prevent himself and get out of there. There's the thrown aerial there. Will he use his Moonshine to just kind of in the aerial? And he gets a stun from the trick shot. A very slow stun, which Virus had unfortunately did not have his E up. And he threw the flower, uses the flower. Now he has to be careful as his stealth can be used. You see the Bears trying to go for the wallbang. Virus disengages quite safely, and he gets hit by the knockdown. But you know what? Now you can see, and when Aikini can see, he can fight. As you see, he throws yet another tombstone, or not, the deadlock and preventatively stuff. And now we're gonna see some major damage. The tab switch happened, but now here comes the Undertaker aerial damage. Saved again by Duckbolt, and we're finally switched. to Zac onto his Warlock, tries to get out of that AoE pool, and Aikini looking super good with that Shadow build right there. Alpha calls, and he has like 5 seconds to just do whatever he wants. He doesn't even need to do anything. He's just gonna waste skills, throws his Haze Bomb, get out of their hooks, and you be very careful. Justini got hit by this, almost got hit by the C-stun, but luckily his SS was greatly done. Try mashing that 5 times fast, and we have our Warlock mirror match.
Yes, you need to be careful of that non-projectile Haze Bomb. Now the Sanctum goes down, and Yasuni actually catches out Zac here, who is playing the Warlock. So yes, the mirror match is on, and in comes the Destroyers with the iron plating and the red spin for the good measure. That was on the side of I was pressing it. The blue team, Zac now below 50% HP, makes the smart move and tags out. Tetherblade was thrown by Yasuni, trying to catch Duck Balls as he came in. It was a whiff in the end. But speaking of Yasuni, he will tag out now and bring in Aikini with that Shadow build. Now let's see, this is what it was built for, to go against the Destroyer, against Duck Balls, just to slow him down even more so. Let's see what he can do here. Aikini knows that Duck Balls needs to take this one out of range, so Duck will just happily spin to win down there on the back line in the chief seats, while Aikini is forced to make the first move.
When he catches the ram right out of Skystone, Aikini has to use the skip, and Skystones again, he realizes he has nothing, so now we're going to the Destroyer mirror matchup, and we're going to see them both on the Emberstone, as you say, kissing under Emberstone, then the pile driver, so quite a romantic evening. So we see the wall bangs happening right here, but you know, Emberstone kind of cancels it. Duckball actually receiving a lot of punishment for what he's trying to do, does use his persistence. And, you know, it just got chopped out so fast, gets repeatedly hit by the wall bang, but, you know, he gets out of that luckily because the Bears had nothing to follow up. These C launches are getting punished by the Dazes, and we see the iframe used on the Bears side. Duck just trying to get some healing, and Yasuni's turn to take the lead. Starts off with the Bastion, forces the Persistent, and that Thrall is up, and let us see how he's going to respond here.
Destroyer versus Destroyer is like watching a bunch of fidget spinners try to make out, isn't it? It's always funny. Virus now will come in against Yasuni, who, well, gets the launch onto Virus, but time distortions now will come in from both of the Warlocks here, providing much needed cooldowns. Now Virus will be happily sitting back there in that smoke, breathing deeply. Now closes the distance, goes into the Shadow Slash, now catches Yasuni out here. Not much PvE damage going on, just going for that single target damage now. Needs to be careful though, because only has the stealth left, now goes into that one. Only retreat available now, so no tab needs to be switched on here. No Lotus, yes, makes the smart move to tag out. Here we go again, how romantic.
And we have Duck Balls and the Bear just anti-canceling and everything with a Mighty Cleave, and this is always right click. But Duck Balls, you have less HP, you're probably gonna be responding like that. And the Q spin knocks him out, and then we see it's kind of an issue right here. As the ult gets used on Duck Ball's side, as the Bear is able to get out of it. He does the perfect, like, guard breaks the stone shield actually. Now we have ult on the Bear side. Will he use it? As he uses the ult with the persistent, and you're breaking through the 5-hit iframe. Will Duck ever come out? And he leaves as he noticed he has just lost in that makeout fest. But we have the Warlock versus Gunner. You see the Shadow Gunner this time making his rain. Does not need a target for that Undertaker. Alpha calls in the air. Guards again. I believe that was the Tether Blade, but perhaps it's wrong. The ult gets tried to fire by Zac, trying to be so cheeky, but it didn't work. You got CC, friend. And you know, now we have so much power from Aikini's side. He's able to lead rain. Oh, but he gets launched as he tried to return to Skystone, and now this could punish and kill him right here. Luckily for him, he has a good old Warlock right here. We have the Venn diagrams of resetting yet again. Aikini gets another deadlock. How much power can he do? He hasn't actually touched Zac that much, but he has a Tombstone coming up. Gonna get that focus. There's the Tombstone. Gets the iframe from it, but he's using it defensively, and he gets the launch into the air. There's the Undertaker aerial combo, doing so much damage onto the Warlock, and that's all right by Akitas. I gets the Bull Rush in there, then he tags out, or he hooks out, and he has the Alpha Call, and he gets the ult. Is he gonna fire it? He flashes Zac. Is Zac even able to see? He's anti-canceling blind right now. Luckily, gets a good amount of damage, and we have the Destroyer trying to red spin him out of the Sanctum. He's like, Kitty gonna stay? Is Zac gonna stay? You both are such low HP.
Whoa. Just range damage just procking off here now. Yasuni will come in, tags in for Aikini. There's been no frags yet. We've got 3 minutes and 45 seconds left on the clock, and Guardian are actually all out of resources. They've got nothing. Meanwhile, I was pressing it and got themselves 2 assists. That is left. That is it. Second win still available for years, and now Duck Ball's taking a lot of damage. The ult! Ooh! so close, doesn't actually pop off. Enough distance was created. Duckballs, though, needs to be careful. He's a destroyer. He can sit pretty underneath that stone shield, get himself some much-needed HP. Meanwhile, Sanctum down to Yasuni, but that exhaust, the throw now getting eaten alive by the red spin, but he's out of time. Will go down, and now this is looking dangerous here for Yasuni. Gets picked up and wedged after wedge after wedge, going into the wall, try to utilize the wall bang. It misses in the end. Yasuni gets himself enough space between him and this big man in front of him just to survive. Now he needs to be careful here, but the stone plating coming in from De Bears this time. So you've got that reset at the 3-minute mark. Now Yes needs to be careful. 30% HP. Duckball's trying to catch him out. Gets the launch off. This is going to be dangerous for Yes. Time distortion is in, but he's not within range. Needs to get inside that one. Duckballs now gets taken down, and Guardian looking good at the moment in this best of 5 grand final. Now they catch out Virus. It's not looking good for I Was Pressing It. They're sitting with the bracket reset in hand, however, but Guardian have hit the ground running.
Keep in mind, it's still only the first set. We are doing best of 5, but we have a kind of a bad issue. I Was Pressing kind of not doing great right now. You know, Zach's still trying to hold on. He's doing his best. He does get Icing event. Maybe he can take it. There's the Tombstone iframe. And you know the tab escape from the instant leech, and it doesn't really matter. The Undertaker just pierces through all that HP.
And Guardian coming through the losers bracket. They've started off their campaign. Well, you can't really ask for much better than that, Hank. They've started off with a victory over the champions at the moment, the winners bracket champions, I should say. I Was Pressing It. So interesting to note there. What do you think? There was really no frags up until kind of the last couple minutes. What do you think happened there in the end?
Are we talking about the part where both destroyers were anti-canceling together in the Ember Stomp, then following with the Mighty Cleave?
That was funny as, man. It was like, nah, screw you, nah, screw you, nah, screw you, nah, screw you. And it was just over and over and over again. It was hilarious. Loved it.
But regardless, I think the big thing in that game was it's got to be Aikini's play right there. You know, Virus doing pretty well against the other gunners, but Aikini brought out that Shadow Gunner this time. And there's 2 big things in that gunner that you have to keep in mind that are way different from Fire. First of all, Tombstone, it's on a half as long as Cool, 45 seconds. It does less damage though. But any attack during Tombstone while you're a Shadow Gunner slows the opponent down and doesn't let them use charge skills. That means Virus can't really run, can't really use his C-stun, can't really get his 1 evasion off. It's so restricting, not only on the Sin, but also on the Destroyer if it lands. The second skill is, instead of Crossfire, you know, you don't get that massive aerial. You get Undertaker. It's that purple cannon that just comes out of nowhere. It's huge damage, kind of hard to hit. But it's on a 12-second cooldown. It's on a 12-second cool. It's almost always there. Every time you hit a land the dark shot, which is your right click, -1 second. Shadow Gunner is just so pressuring, although it doesn't have that burst damage once again, but do you really need it if you're constantly chopping down a Sin?
I mean, Virus didn't really get a chance to spread his wings because of that exact reason. So very well read there by Aikini in the end. And it's also to deal with Duckballs on the Destroyer. So normally you'd think it'd be okay to switch up your build off meta for just one particular target, but to get 2 out of that, that's a bonus. So yeah. Aikini, I'd be surprised if he switches off that, considering how well it's gone against this composition. I don't think he ran that, and he ran the standard fire in the opening rounds.
Yeah.
So we didn't see it, and this time it's just changed things up a little bit.
Definitely so much more pressure. Again, Undertaker's on a low cooldown. That's just the big thing. You're not relying on aerials, which Fire Gunner has to do. This man can just shoot you in neutral. The fact that Warlock only has a block, if you guard break, all right, he's going to instant Undertaker, which is how Zach actually died in this game. If there's a Sin, he's just going to fire the Undertaker and hope it hits. If it doesn't hit, who cares? He'll be back in time. But the big thing, I think also, Duck got a bit greedy there. When he was in the mirror match, as funny as it is, that was not his advantage. He was on lower HP. He should not have been playing the Bears game. Duckball should have retreated. He should have gotten out of there. He should have tagged out. He was on lower HP, lower resources, and all he really did was kind of feed into the dominating side. He used his ult for no reason, and then he traded ults, and it wasn't in favor of I was pressing it. They can't have Duck being, I guess he's being too prideful, you know, I'm the better destroyer. I mean, sure, that can be the case, but you aren't the only person on your team. You have to be able to be considerate of what everything does.
And that's it. Well, the Guardian, we're looking pretty good at the moment. Like we said, 1 round advantage. I was pressing it. All they need to win is 3 rounds, Hank. That is it. As we get into game number 2, it will be Zach, this time on the Summoner, going up against Aikini on that Gunner. Let's have a look and see what build he is running.
And you see that there's the Bees versus the Shadow Gunner. He is able to do damage in the Petal Storm because, you know, Undertaker is not a projectile. And he's putting so much pressure on Zach. Zach has to use his escape, and he hasn't really done much besides 2 or 3 Bees. But he's in the air, and this is Zach's territory now. The Wind Summoner fighting the aerial opponent. He lands that purple shot right there. And you see Zach just healing up all the damage he took while Aikini is actually being returned. All the damage that he tried to do. There's the Undertaker combo yet again. Zach takes a good chunk of HP, but Aikini's not so great off. And we had to use a Destroyer saves for both sides. How are they going to use it right now? And you see that they're trying to just PvE him. You know, the Summoner realizes there's nothing to fear from the Gunner. The guards aren't that break. And you see this aerial combo. This could be it for Aikini as both saves were already used. This was on Aikini's side. And now they're in a horrible situation for Guardian as Zach just turns it around with the Undercat Summoner just taking out the Gunner.
Rip Aikini, 3 assists and 2 tag-ins in the bank. Guardian, that is different. And I must say, it's because Zach, he's gotten off that Warlock. He's gotten back on the Summoner. Already you can see how much more comfortable he is on this class. Now he's going up against Yasuni, the man who's probably as comfortable as Zach is on the Summoner on his Warlock, but needs to be careful, taking a fair bit of damage. Zach is just able to stealth himself away. 11 seconds till he's taken out, gets launched. In comes the assist. This time it's from Duck Balls. 7 seconds left on the clock, and our Destroyer friend will actually be coming in. There's only 1 assist left on either Duck Balls and Virus. Speaking of Destroyers, here we go, going up against Yasuni's Warlock. Now, this is where the Warlock can excel here, should the Destroyer be sloppy, but if someone's not sloppy, it's definitely Duck Balls.
And we see Duckbolt actually SSing and getting the grab right there, saying you see you need to stop holding block. Knocks him out of Sanctum, says no thank you to the Thrall. There's the Ember Stop, and now he sees that he's gonna get this Destroyer rematch yet again. Duck, you are on lower resources because you're in late. What are you gonna do? He tries to set up for the wall bang with a turnaround drag, but you know the wall is kind of far. Duck goes in for the charge, gets the smash in. The Bears, you know, not taking too much damage. But again, there's no real turnaround here. Zach trying to get some nice rooting, trying to remove the spin, and it's going to the advantage of Duck as he gets knocked down, but he gets rolled out of there. The C launch was iframed, and here comes the blue buff on both sides. Persistence has been used, and now we have the knockdown as you're so patient. Both dazes on the Bear side were counteracted. You see the Ram actually canceling the Blitz, and the grab is on the Bear side. He power slams in there, switches out. But Yasuni's in the air! Oh, and he takes a chunk from the aerial mine. And now it's Zach's turn to fight this Warlock in the Summoner Earth build, which he loves so very much.
Sanctum now will go down. That is from Yasuni. And he's taking a fair bit of damage now. Sanctum or no Sanctum, they do not care, because the Destroyer de Bears has come in on the assist, and Zach now just played the long game. Will tag out for Virus, who seems a little bit more comfortable against Yasuni's Warlock. So the matchups here are coming into play. No bonus for Virus, only going for the stealth escape as well as the retreat. Now he goes in close to the distance, throws down the smoke, bombard for good measure. Imprison will actually land, the Tether Blade whiffs, so Yasuni, there goes your combo, needs to tag out now, does so, De Beers comes in. The good thing about this one is that Yasuni has actually got 2 assists left, so should De Beers get a cheeky launch off, they could just pull themselves back into this game. But the big kicker at the moment is Aikini is watching from the sidelines, 3 assists, 2 tags, he's got shot.
And when you see that Duck is actually on the losing side of the kind of exchange, he's lost his Ember Stop and his Tab Escape, but now he just caught the Bear, so I have to eat my words. Runs the blue buff, trying to finish it off, doesn't get his tech chase right there, and that was your big chance. Now the Bears actually has his blue buff still open, so he has an escape. Now we're switching into Zach's side, and he knows that, hey, there's no escape. I'm gonna break through your blue buff, and now we have to switch to Yasuni, but he's stuck in here. He can't get out anymore. But lucky for him, Zac is not on Earth build, and Zac will not be able to really punish him on Sanctum and some of the other skills. But we see the cat ult, which makes him invincible and inflicts the daze, and he actually gets caught by the daze right there, having to make Yasuni retreat as he was just on the very edge. And now it's Virus's turn. He hasn't really had much of a starring role, but it's going to be pretty easy from here.
Yasuni just forced to take damage. The bear goes in, throws the ult. It's a total whiff. Virus is having absolutely none of it. Tetherblade goes out. It connects, but Virus, again, just not phased. Has got the Lotus of Escape. Decided to use. I don't think he's laid it down just as yet. Doesn't have Stealth Retreat, but 38% left on Yasuni. Virus will be comfortable, like I said, in this Warlock. He's done this time and time again. It's just another day at the office for him, but he's getting launched. Just needs to be careful because this cheeky damage just maybe he's undoing. But Yasuni now 15%, 14%, slowly ticking away. The Bombard is going to secure it, and now in comes the Bears. I was pressing it. Finally have called themselves back. They've switched up their classes a little bit. Zac off that Warlock onto the Summoner, and it's what's winning in this game at the moment. Duckballs has got an ult in the bank. The Bears does not. Virus, he must be close. 48 seconds until he has to tag out. Gets launched by the Bears, but with 55% HP, even the big, bulky sustainability power of the Destroyer, I don't think it's going to be enough yet.
The Bears actually making a save, having to use his blue buff early because he hit into the ground counter. Virus in a good situation, just used his escape. Unfortunately for him, he actually get launched by the sea launch as he tried to put a landmine. Is the mine gonna land? No, the Q spin saves the Bears, but there's no teammate for the wall bang to help. The Bears is desperately trying to heal from his shield, trying to use that as an iframe. Virus is going to be tagged out in a few seconds. The Bears probably is going to use that to capitalize a catch, but he has to be very careful because from here he only has his escape. He doesn't have his blue, and he has to use his escape now, and he didn't quite get the chase with the ram. This is horrible. And now we have Duckballs taking it, giving him payback from the last game, and just ult catch him. And now we're going to see another ult. Unfortunately, they didn't go for the style and went for the quick blue petal finish.
Very, very nice there from Duckballs to catch out the Bears in that ult. He got out of it in the end, but was knocked back, so well done. And they've clawed it back. I was just pressing it, and I reckon, Hank, that was, like I said, off the back of those class switch-ups. You got Zac way more comfortable on the Summoner than he is on the Warlock, and I think, will they be anticipating the switch-up this time? Will we see that come out again? I mean, is there any multi-class plays going on the side of Guardian?
I mean, once again, we could just have the Bears switching onto his Sin, but that's quite a dramatic change. These Destroyers are, again, very powerful, very good defense. Unfortunately, because of these matchups, they can't be utilized as quickly. One of their powerful skills is actually their knee. The knee actually inflicting a 3-second daze, which can actually, due to some sort of technical workarounds, goes up to almost 4 seconds of pure damage. They have to use the guard break knee, or else they're never going to catch these super mobile range classes like the Gunner. So you see the Bears and Duckballs actually using these guard break knees, which makes them a little less effective because you can actually bait them out. And now that the Destroyer is in front of you, as whatever class you are and you baited it, you can instant return. So maybe the Bears will opt for the Sin. That would be very interesting. Maybe Aikini goes for like a Soul Fighter for all I know. But regardless, I think whatever we're going to see next is going to be very interesting. We are 1-1.
Yes, remember, ladies and gents, I was pressing it. All they need to do is win 3 rounds. Meanwhile, Guardian, they need to reset the bracket from I was just pressing it. Now, this is not a good way to start it off. Zac taking a lot of damage, but you know what? He's a Summoner. Aikini will blow the Alpha Call now and will utilize that whip line around and around. And now he's out of hook, so needs to be careful. Needs to use a lot of his abilities. Oh, Zac! Very early tag out.
You see Aikini getting that early tombstone. He's switching for that fire build right now. He's securing so much free damage. And then he got the reset. But now he's out of hooks again. You better be very careful, Aikini. You cannot run. You had to use Bull Rush to escape. And we see Duckball is actually able to catch him, but he has the hooks back. And we're going to see how Aikini uses them. And we see he use 1 hook. He has 1 more left. And he has to be very careful. He has used the last hook. He can't set up. He can't go to the next Skystone. Duck is being very patient. He knows this class. He knows this matchup can be horrible. The Ricochet not getting the stun or the daze, and you see the chase from the Ram not quite catching the SS, and Aikini's just gonna PvE him. And there's so much damage that Duck ate for absolutely no reason because the gunner knows how to play. Cannonades through the stone shield. And you see the launch into the air because Duck decided to turn his back before using his drag. So now it's Zach's turn to go in and try to secure this win, but they're at a pretty uphill. Zach healing an immense amount of HP right there. Might be opting for the different true friend. And now he's going against Yasuni. Tries the guard break. Doesn't quite land it. The Daze Hammer lands. But, you know, he's stuck in the AoE and the cat can't power pound. So it's time to hide in your petals, heal your cat, and wait out the Warlock time.
Fair bit of damage coming the way of Zach here. He's just catching him out. But Virus hasn't really made his mark on this game yet. Expect to see him very, very shortly. Duckballs now comes back in. Tetherblade for good measure. But yes, and Duckballs again just juking it out. Duckballs needs to be careful because he took too much damage from Aikini that we saw before. Now the Bears will come in, trying to utilize a wall bang. Doesn't really find it in the end there, but Duck at 50% HP. Needs to be careful. Ember Stomp is down, so that's one good thing. Tries to go for the cleave for the win. Unfortunately, he's not going up against another Destroyer, and yes, is more than happy to create space between himself and his opponent. 50 seconds before Yes tags out and the Bears comes back in, and we will see that. Well, we won't actually see the Destroyer mirror match because Duck is tagged out for Virus, who's going a head-to-head against the Warlock again. He likes this, trying to throw out the bombards left, right, and center, but he gets caught. Needs to be careful, but luckily for him, the summoner saves. Zach comes in.
Virus and Yasuni still going at it. They're staying at the respective side of the maps, trying to wait for the cooldowns. Virus probably wants his smoke and poison breath here, but never mind, that goes in with the evasion one and then uses a Q to get back to the stealth. The Thrall is trying to touch him, but no, the landmine is just away from Yasuni. The Bolt Strike actually lands on Yasuni, not quite turning around, and he gets some free bombard damage. The knockdown catching onto the Bears for the insta-web, and the wallbang almost happened. It almost happened, ladies and gents, but he knew he had to escape out of there. Virus actually in a great position as he knows his Destroyer friend does not have any more escape, and there it is. There's the last escape. Virus having both of his escapes. He's going to be in such a good position if he can get back into stealth and reset essentially everything he needs.
That was a good iron plating coming out there from the Bears just in the nick of time. Lotus of Escape is down for Virus. Should he decide to use it, he's going to sit back in that mist and just breathe deep and get back some HP. Throws out the body swap, collects the Bears, tries again, I believe, for another wall bang. Just again does not find it. The Bears, though, is forced to tag out. Now brings in Yasuni. This is not good at all. Yes needs to be careful because Virus loves this matchup. 13 seconds left until Virus gets the mandatory tag out. Yasuni goes into the Sanctum and Time Distortion. Resets himself. Tries to catch out Virus, who gets back into stealth, but with 3 seconds, he's not going to decide to close the gap. He will tag out, slap the hand of Zach, who comes in. Yes, tries for the tech chase.
You see Zach had to immediately use his escape, but he has to have noticed that as soon as he's in the wrong build, he's using the interfere build, so his Sanctum is actually very weak, and so he notices that he switches out for Aikini, and we're back to the Gunner versus Summoner matchup, and we know that the Summoner should usually be in B, so he might not be happy in this build, but Aikini's in the Fire build, so he'll be happy here on his side. Gets knocked down, the cat just won't, is relentlessly knocking down with the legs or the ankle biters right there. Aikini being pushed into the corner by this small little Lin, and we have the Bears taking the charge, trying to beat the Summoner.
Zach just happy to throw Sunflowers out at a distance here. The Bears tries to close it, goes in close range. That's a whiffed ult, but he does not care. Zach has his own ult sitting pretty, so keep your eye on that one. Calls in the assist of, I think it was Virus who came in this time. No, yeah, well, it was Virus coming in. I bet the Bears is just happy to pop the iron plating. He'll sit back now, trying this blue spin, try and catch somebody out. Gets a good launch off, pile driver for style. No ult yet. We saw him use that earlier on. Now goes for the cleave. Zach is forced to call in Duckballs to use his last assist on an iron plating. Now they can open it up onto the Bears, who eats a fair chunk of damage, but is still spinning like his life depended on it here. 57 seconds and he is out. 15% HP. I was pressing it, need to secure themselves a kill here. Will they be able to do so? Yes! With the assist coming in from Duckballs. Now Zach, 10 seconds until he tags. Sorry, it was Virus who came in on the assist. Aikini now comes in, and he loves the Summoner matchup, but Zach and the rest of I was pressing it have got the advantage here. 4 minutes, 9 seconds left on the clock.
Yeah, luckily gets the aerial on Virus, who forces the last interfere on Zach, and Zach is able to just try to put some pressure. The cat is relentless, but not enough this time. As Aikini is in a rather not so great position. He has no escapes. He still has Tombstone, so he has to wait for the Sin. The Sin still having to escape. He's gonna heal up. He is at max HP. We have ult, and we try to flash, but unfortunately the flash just whiffs Virus as he was able to just move side to side and evade that. The Tombstone is used, not quite finding a target. Bolt Strike was used for the re-stealth, and Virus is still so comfortable, lands his Spinal Tap right there, and the C-Stun almost caught him out, but Aikini's just maneuvering so well with his Alpha Call as well, so he can escape yet again. The Bull Rush not even able to touch Virus. This is such a difficult thing for him to even touch him. He's not in the Shadow Belt, and we see the ult finish onto Aikini, where Yasuni couldn't even do anything. And we have yet again as Yasuni in a very bad situation versus Virus. Although he has no ult, do you really need one if you're this man? Well, you might, because this Leech Q is so strong. And there's the ult from the Leech Chain, and Virus has the tag out. And Death Bells is going to take the lead. Going to destroy that Thrall immediately with the Fury Shadow build. Actually, kind of whiffing it, but there you go. There's the kill onto it. And this is his chance right here. Yasuni has that Bastion, and after that, it should be Duckball's turn. There's so much damage, and there's not enough iframes. There's not enough block. Yasuni gets smacked, and it is the end.
Well, I was pressing it. They started that round off with an absolute struggle. They were on the back foot from the get-go. And Guardian were just so strong. I mean, I really thought they were going to take that round there, but really have to tip your fedora over to I was just pressing it, because those guys are now one round away from being crowned victors of the North American 3v3 Rumble in the Realm. But Guardian standing in their way. They're a strong team, and you can see, Hank, just how much these players want this, just how much they are drooling for it, the way that they're switching up their builds every single time, every single round. We're seeing something new. We're seeing the Gunner switch it up. We're seeing a class switch up. We're seeing builds that you might not normally see only for specific roles. We saw the Gunner go off that Shadow build back onto that Fire build, and again and again and again you saw the matchups that they wanted coming in. Virus against Yasuni, you know, Summoner against Warlock. That's what you want if you're an assassin. You've got the Gunner going against the Summoner, so Aikini again on the ball. So this one, Hank, I'm excited.
It's definitely the one for keeps in this game. I was pressing it, looking very good. Not only did they switch Zach from a Warlock to a Summoner, which everyone would say for a downgrade, but it worked. And that's the big thing right here. This is actually causing quite the difference. Aikini having a difficult time with the Summoner. He's actually done quite a few mistakes with that Fire build of Crossfire into a Petal Storm, healing Zach so much. So even though he's doing so much damage off of Tombstone, if he's not careful, he's going to give that Summoner too much rain. And we're seeing quite an interesting change here. And now, without further ado, yet again, we're seeing this change of the starter, Zach versus Yasuni now. Summoner versus Warlock, something we haven't seen it probably not too long. The Petal Storm startup, the Sanctum Star, everyone's hiding in their defensive abilities. Zach taking whatever damage Wing Storm and Dragon Helix is, but that's no trouble. But he actually gets caught by the Tether Blade, and now he has to use his escape early. This could be pretty bad. And now we see the tag in from the Gunner as they do so much damage to Zach. He could disappear in a flash of the eyes. Don't blink, and Duckballs had to go for him. And now we have Virus versus Yasuni yet again in the Sin versus Warlock matchup.
Yeah, this is what he likes, but he reads it well. Tags out Yasuni, brings in Aikini, who eats a fair bit of damage to start things off. Now throws out the Alpha Call and Tombstone in quick succession. Now Virus needs to be careful. Aikini gets the Bears to come in to provide a little bit of an assist. Virus gets grappled, but nevertheless, he's not too phased. Good whip fight in the end there. Bull Rush actually catching out Virus. So Aikini now reveals him from stealth, actually forces him back in. Now the Lotus goes down, the Mist as well. The Bears will come in, tagging in for Aikini. 1 minute and 5 seconds before Virus tags out. He'll be wanting to get as maximum amount of time as possible. Still has that Lotus up, so he's managing his escapes very well here. The Bears trying his best to put pressure on and make him use some of them, just bait it out. There's the Poison Breath Bombard, which we know Virus for. And De Beers now just happy to sit back in Stone Shield. 8 minutes, 33 seconds left.
And the Bear just whiffing every one of the skills. Virus knowing this matchup, how to get his evasion, how to get into stealth right there. He strafes a long range ram because he knows he can't. He gets the knockdown, puts him on the web, gets another knockdown. And you know the Bears can't check chase because he got so much afflicted poison and slow. So now we have Duck trying to go for the save. The wall bang actually not getting the right geometries here. Virus actually gets guard broken, but the Bears got too greedy with the blitz and got flashed by the stealth. Virus in a bad situation though. He could be it. Lucky for him, the summoner comes in for the rescue, but he's still being. And Zach actually killed Virus.
Yep, not good at all. So the equivalent to running your teammate out in a game of cricket. Unfortunately for them, it's not good for them at the moment. That doesn't do a lot for your morale. So Guardian will be pleased with that one. Ikini, Yes, and the Bears letting Zach do the dirty work for them. And now they're looking at bringing this one back. Duckballs is just going, what's going on here, guys? What position have you put me in?
Duckball's really not happy with how his teammates went. Hopefully it's not intentional. I would not want that to ever happen. Duck trying his best to catch this poor gunner. Tried to ram, but the counter was in the sea. Launch gets iframed too. These hooks are all over the place. The tombstone gets so much free damage. Duck can't even tech chase because he has no skills left to tech chase with. And he's just getting unloaded right there. He has to use his blue buff. Like he's dancing around this gun, this destroyer, knowing he can't get deflected. He's just going to keep firing and hooking off cooldown. And you see, you know, the Bears is probably trying to get the wall bang right here. There it is. And is it going to land? It does, just for a brief moment. But that's just enough to put Duck at 16% HP. Zach in a pretty interesting situation. He uses his true friend. Is he going to be able to make the turnaround as he's in Earth build? No, Ikini's just shuffling around. He's playing phenomenal. He's watching these cooldowns. He's out of hooks now, but he knows he just got his hooks back. He has one more hook left, not using it, and now he has opt to use it. Can't Skystone, but he goes for the instant aerial. Is Duck going to come in for the save? He has to. No, he doesn't have to. Although Yasuni might be a little late for the actual finish right there. What is Zach's options from here? And he does get the knockdown. The cat is following, and Ikini might be back in the corner himself.
Well, this is looking pretty grim here for I Was Pressing It. The Bears comes in trying to utilize this red buff. Now closes the distance, gets the grapple off. This is bad news for Zach. He's forced to bring in Duckballs for whatever assistance he can provide. The Bears, though, not too phased, is sitting very, very good at the moment. Power Pounce is now back up for Zach. Should he decide to use it? Guardian, meanwhile, they're sitting very, very deep on the health pools. And there we'll see it. There it is. Zach gets taken down. Now it's all up to Duckballs. Yes versus Duck. Destroyer versus Warlock. Duck not going down without a fight. He is throwing haymakers at Yasuni, but he's not too phased. Type Distortion goes in. There's the aerial launch. This will be GG, I think. Yes, hits the ground and just implodes like a pancake that you've tried to flip and absolutely made a mess of. So well done. It is now 2 for 2 here, Hank. And this one is going to be an interesting round because at the end of this game, we are going to know if we're going to have A victor or B, a bracket reset.
Yeah, definitely super. If the stakes weren't high before, they're high now. It's either all or nothing. Hopefully, I Was Pressing His morale was not too destroyed again. We saw it right there. We got a team kill. That's not very common in this game. It's very difficult to get a team kill, but it happened. And we saw that, you know, Zach was in that PvE build. All you have to do, throw blue petals, hold right click, something will die. Unfortunately, that something was your own teammate, friend.
So yeah, look, I mean, it's bad when it happens in game, Hank, and then you potentially lose the round, which is what happened there. But that something like that carries over into the next game, and you know, if it happened early in the tournament, it's something that's going to be in the back of the minds of your teammates. Is hang on a minute, I just got team killed. What the hell? Like you said, it's so hard to do, or is it just skill from the other team? Who knows? It's one of those things, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely the summoner, Zach, is not going to feel great about that because that's so much pressure on your shoulders. Because this is one of those games that you can find the one moment that just caused the entire thing to shatter. But knowing them, and they have experience in these situations, in the competitive scene, they want to be able to, you know, take a deep breath, turn it around. You know, they've had good momentum. Both sides are doing great momentum. They just have to learn to deal with different circumstances. We saw that you know, Zach versus Aikini, you know, Zach does very well. But when you bring in Yasuni, then Zach kind of almost panics. And, you know, it's a bit of a history there. You know, Zach has known he's been able to beat Yasuni before, but he's had a few very outstanding losses, and most of these were actually in the tournament scene. So, you know, a bit of stage fright, but I'm hoping they can play their best, because that's all you can really ask for. Play the best. Yep. Don't team kill. Don't tag in on accident. None of these rookie mistakes. You want to be able to be the most optimal of these grand finals for the Rumble in the Realm.
That's right. There's cash money on offer. $1,500 for first place, $1,200 for second place. Third place victors were bagged milk. They walked away with $900, and fourth place Legacy netted themselves $300 in Hong Moon coin. First three are all cash. And tell you what, there's stuff available for you guys, the viewers, as well. At the bottom of the screen, there is a link to the Scarlet Bird costume. Type that one in. This could be the last chance you get to do so. So make sure that you enter into the raffle, which will be drawn Wednesday. Here we go. Game number 5 of this best of 5 series. It'll either be a bracket reset or a victory. I was pressing it versus Guardian.
Yeah, we see that Virus probably predicted that, you know, Aikini won't go first, but holy, he did not get a good exchange right there. Yasuni getting the instant aerial onto Virus, not really able to do much. He's taken so much damage, and it's not even the first minute yet. Virus, you have to relax, my friend. You have your smoke, but it won't do everything. You've been hit by a tether. You're giving too much freeway. This poison breath into the bombard in neutral, it's not good. You have to get, there you go, the spinal tap. There's a chase with the knockdown. You see that Yasuni has those games, but he switches to the bears. All right, Virus, you still have your stealth. You still have a good chunk of HP. Let's not drop here. The bears doing pretty well as you can against an invisible opponent, just waiting it out. Tries to get the red spin onto him as he saw the SS, not there yet. The blue spin gets used. Virus is doing great now, you know, kind of comfortable with this matchup. Oh, you see Aikini bursting into free damage on top of the pile driver. We're switching back to Zach versus the Bears.
There it is. Zach just trying to poke down the Bears with some bees action, but Ember Stomp is down. The Bears will do his best to sit in that, but Zach just going for the jugular here, just giving him absolutely no quarter now. In comes Aikini. The Bears tags out, so well done there from Zach. Not only did he deal a fair chunk of damage to the Bears, he forced a tag out, so that's a little win for him. But now he just needs to be careful not to overextend his welcome, because Aikini is a smart player, and look at the way he's just able to return the damage here onto Zach, utilizing that quick shot, unloading like his life depended on it. There is no more escapes up for Zach. There is the assist, and Cleave, see you later! Oh my god, huge damage coming out from I Was Pressing It, and Zach, eyes still lit up like he wouldn't believe, takes a fair bit of damage, but Guardian now forced onto the back foot, losing their gunner.
Kind of a very bad situation. I'm not sure about that call with the Yasuni tag, and perhaps they should have had the Bears defend his teammate. But we're now at a very bad situation for Yasuni. You have Duck Balls perhaps not doing great with his cooldowns, but he has two friends, not only for offensive assist and defensive, but we have Zach's turn. Now he's going to do that Summoner versus the Warlock matchup, and he should be a bit confident, although his HP is a bit lacking, so don't get Wingstorm, friend. And you see he's actually taking a large chunk of damage, not quite. He's hiding into the smoke. He's trying to heal as much as possible. Yasuni doing fairly well. We see Zach returning back to 50% HP, and the cat gets launched instead, and the poor pet is fighting the other pet. You know, we set up kind of a reset. The stun actually lands on Zach. Poor Summoner is not fast enough to walk away from that. And we see Yasuni just kind of trying to get little damage, but Zach is able to return just as much. And the fear on both sides, the careful, the precision. You can't simply allow yourself to get PvE'd, but that's what a Summoner will do to you.
So now the Sanctum will go down. Yasuni just happy to sit back there. Zach still floating around on the Summoner, just taking this at a distance. Rupture goes out along with Tether Blade from Yasuni. Zach's okay though. He'll be able to take a fair bit of damage. He'll sit back and heal it all back up just when he needs to. 10 seconds until Yis is out of here and the Bears is back in. Zach needs to be careful though. The Bears coming in for a cheeky assist before he has to take the field himself. And there we go. He'll now get himself some game time going up against Zach. But Virus is still in there with a tag. Duck Balls has got a tag and an assist. And we're still a while away back from that 3-minute reset. So Guardian, they need to play the stall game, and they've got the right person to do it, De Bears. But Zach is just able to poke him down here. The drag will actually connect here, so De Bears able to close the distance 10 seconds, and then Zach is out of here as well. Virus will come in very, very shortly. 6 minutes, 8 seconds left, and there we go. Goes in for the cleave, gets a knee off as well. Zach is forced to wake up. Now, he tags out, just saving him in the nick of time, but De Bears, that's how you do it.
And Bears doing pretty well in that matchup. Now the problem in here, the big ringer is Virus against the Destroyer matchup. It's going to be pretty hard for the Bears side, especially since he does not have a defensive assist, and the Sin will, oh, it's kind of hard to defend against him anyway. And you see the knockdowns, the poison breath, there's so much safe damage. The Bears is barely able to finally get an escape, and it does go through, but he can't tech chase off the daze because of all of the charge disable on him. He's just spinning for his dear life, and he's might get PvE'd by the summoner. Luckily, the red spin knocks everyone just out of range. He has to use his blue buff right now. Is Jasuni going to be able to follow up for what's going to happen here? You see the Bear just hiding in Ember's He has the stone. He needs to heal up immensely. But even if you heal up, that's not in your favor completely. Even though you have HP, there's still damage you have to watch out for.
That is it. And should this come to calculations, it'll be pretty close. I think I was pressing it may just have it here because I clearly went down extremely early on. Probably one of their two biggest sources of damage up against that Warlock. It's hard to split them in terms of more DPS at the moment. But the Bears will tag out. Yasuni will come in. Then Virus is happy with that. He's got 30 seconds of basically a free reign here against Yasuni. The Thrall goes down here. Gravity Well will actually catch him. Forces to use that escape. And poor Virus, getting caught out, will have to tag out, but in comes Zach.
Yeah, we see Zach is just, you know, able to do some things with this cat. Unfortunately, it gets launched, but he's in the pedal storm. He's fine. What does it even matter? The cat is relentless, though. He's chasing that little Warlock as far as he possibly can. And you see he actually gets a cat pounce on from the guard right there. You see he's actually in a bad situation. And we switch back to the Bears, but this might not be great for him. We see Zach is actually taking a good amount of damage, so never mind. I will eat my words. He's out of escapes, and he's caught in the ult, but lucky for him, the Balls is the greatest defender you can have. But the blue buff right there gets completely broken through from the pure damage, and Zach is just gonna keep sunflowering. The Bears is on a very little amount of HP. He sees the blue spin, and Zach does not care as long as there's no deflect. He's just gonna keep PvEing him. Yasudi's back in the game. I'm not sure what he really can do from here. He's eating so much damage. The Doom and Bloom is just draining his HP. The Ivy Poison is just in his face. The Bleed stacks are even able to just hurt him. You see Yasuni just dodging left and right. Finally get a breath from the Sanctum. The Power Pounce knockdown gets in. And my mistake, the Thorn Strike Pounce gets him. And you know, the cat is still, you know, just hanging back. The Leech almost kills Zach. Luckily, he was able to tag out, and we have Duck Balls, probably in the most favorable thing ever, as he is the Destroyer with all of his cooldowns.
Yep, the Destroyer of Worlds, the Destroyer of Noobs, the victor, soon to be, of Rumble in the Realm, unless some freak of nature accident happens here. I think I was pressing it. I'm sitting very good at walking away with 1,500 schmackles. It's now 14% left on for Yasuni. He's just delaying the inevitable here. You would seem to think so. De Bears, with no assists, he has used his only one that he had left. 3 on the side of Yasuni, but see you later, Yis. Poor little Yis gets taken down, and now it's Zach, Virus, and Duck Balls against De Bears. 2 minutes, 34 seconds left. De Bears not going down without a fight, though. Tries to get the grapple off, is unable to capitalize, but now the red spin. And Zach will actually get the swap off there, so well done. De Bears now on the ground, takes a lot of damage coming out here from the Doom and Gloom. 12%, 3%, GG's, well done. I was pressing it. What do you reckon, Hank?
I mean, I think I was pressing it deserves that win. They played that very well. You know, they caught Arcade, and that was just a big thing. You know, a 2v3 is always downhill from there. Zach's like, oh look, he's almost out of escapes, and they didn't really opt to use their interferes. And then you see, you know, the Bears wasn't able to interfere fast enough. Yasuni came in instead. It lost a person. And then the Bears actually using his last interfere quite poorly, as Zach actually catches Yasuni, but because Zach was rooted, he couldn't even do any damage. He was facing the other direction, so it was pretty premature on that side. And, you know, finally, it was just pretty easy to just damage it from there. The Summoner DOT, the Sin has so much free damage, and you can't even opt to really deflect most of that either. But overall, great match. Congratulations to I Was Pressing It. Better luck next time, Guardian, but you did phenomenal. Our second place right there. Third place, if I'm reading this right, is Bag Milk, and last but not least, Legacy on fourth place.
That's it. So congratulations again to all the victors. Congratulations to our North American victor, I Was Pressing It, as well as congratulations to our European victors, Bed Inventors, not to be confused with Bad Intentions. And that is it from us. That actually wraps up the Rumble in the Realm. But if you want more of Blade Soul Esports, all you need to do is get on to esports.bladeandsoul.com for all of the news and updates for any more upcoming tournaments. I know there is a few in the pipeline as well, so keep your eyes on for that. Thank you everybody for watching as well across all the platforms on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. And if you like what you saw, make sure that you click either the follow, like, or subscribe button, depending on where you're watching, because hopefully you've had a good time and as much fun as we have. So on behalf of myself, Kit Fox, my co-caster Hank, and all of the admins, I'm talking about you guys, the Legion guys, Aurelie, Ninu, Skyrush, everybody over there, as well as all the other co-casters here over at NCSoft. I'm talking about Brunch, Hangetsu, Frozone, and of course my man Barney. Anybody else I might have missed, it's been an absolute pleasure, one hell of a ride, and we look forward to the pleasure of your company next time. GG's and good night.